The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and Hits 103.9 FM in Accra and Kumasi. We're on Love 99.5 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Volta Premier Ho, Kekeli FM Ho, Amenuveve Aplao and Lolonyo FM Ho. Get radio, TV, and online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. Coming up, Ghana Union of Traders Association alarmed over possible disruption in their supply chain owing to the latest announcement by three military leaders in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger to officially leave the West Africa sub-regional bloc ECOWAS.
If some countries depart the ECOWAS, then definitely is going to affect us negatively in that regard of trading. So yes.
But Ghana's mission in Burkina Faso is downplaying the concerns, adding that Ghana and its embattled neighbor have good relations.
We can survive. The problem of this export is the issue of ECOWAS sanctions. If we don't have ECOWAS sanctions, everything is free. And even with this, their decision, I don't see anything going to affect it.
Also, the Yendi debacle after last weekend's parliamentary primaries, far from over as both sides continue to lay claim to victory in spite of the EC's position about a no winner in that contest.
Yes, I see myself as the winner of the primary and the people's choice, because the whole of Yendi had the highest votes in all the 18 constituencies.
For now, I am taking a petition to the party.
In business,
Bank of Ghana to investigate reports of some individuals holding cocoa bills that are yet to be paid as it promises to resolve the issue.
And we'll tell you a story of a 15-year-old who has developed an anti-sleep device to reduce road accidents after losing her father and brother.
I promised my mom that I will not let anyone in my family go through that pain again. This device alerts drivers whenever they are dozing off.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Amisi Nyamiche Thompson. In our first story, the Ghana Union of Traders Association is raising fears their supply chain may be disrupted owing to the latest announcement by three military leaders in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger to officially leave the West Africa sub-regional bloc ECOWAS. The three departing countries, which are currently facing sanctions for overthrowing democratically elected governments, say their decision to withdraw from ECOWAS was based on inhumane sanctions. Although there are growing fears of dire economic and food security implications for Ghana, the country's ambassador to Burkina Faso, Boniface Gambila, says that will be too early to call.
We can survive. The problem of this export is the issue of ECOWAS sanctions. If we don't have ECOWAS sanctions, everything is free. And even with this, their decision, I don't see anything going to affect us. Because Ghana and Burkina Faso are brothers and sisters. That's what we must know. Burkina depends on us a lot, and we depend on Burkina a lot. Brothers and sisters even brothers and sisters fight, they sleep together.
But the Ghana Union of Traders say the members could be adversely impacted as the main source of tomatoes, onions and other staples come from there. A departure of these countries, they argue, could create more hurdles in doing business. Dr. Joseph Obing is president of the association.
So if some countries depart the ECOWAS, then definitely is going to affect us negatively in that regard of trading. So yes, it will surely have an impact, and we do not know how it's going to affect the free flow of traffic and humans. The earlier we try to find a solution to this, the better.
Moving on, the minority in Parliament's Agri Committee is raising questions over why the country's biggest indigenous cocoa buying company, PBC, continues to post huge losses when the finance minister has set up a desk to observe the finances of the Ghana Cocoa Board and its subsectors. Joy News 9 months ago reported on the woes of the company and how its market share had declined from 30.88% in 2016 to 8% in 2021. Last week, a consortium of banks confiscated some assets of the produce buying company over non-payment of debt running into more than 300 million Ghana cedis. Speaking to Joy News, Deputy Ranking Member Godfrey Seidu Jasau called for a special financing arrangement to revive the ailing fortunes of PBC.
The finance minister, if you recall, finance minister's solution to the problems of these state-owned enterprises was that he was going to create a desk at the Ministry of Finance. We spoke about this some 4 months ago. What has happened to the debts? What has it done? How come PBC has still defaulted in its debts and liability to the extent that a court will rule that these banks can sell its assets?
Here, Deputy Ranking Member on the Agric Committee in Parliament, Godfred Seidu Jessel. Now, the Yendi debacle that has come about as a result of last weekend's NPP parliamentary primaries is far from over, as both sides continue to lay claim to victory in spite of the EC's position about no winner in that contest, even though the party has committed to investigate the incident when it gets a fuller precision of the facts as it happened on the ground. But the two contenders in the race are claiming victory. Here's the account of the Maslok CEO, Haja Abibata Shani.
He denied, and then he pulled his jacket that he was wearing, and then the ballot papers were in his pocket, and then an indelible ink pad was also found. So there's a video to that effect. So when it got to that point, and then everybody saw what their intention was, some party members got infuriated and they came. So when they came, everything was, there was just chaos. For now, I am taking a petition to the party, then I will hear from the party.
Well, the incumbent MP of the area, Farouk Mahama, has since rejected the EC's claim that there was no winner in the weekend's contest.
And it will cause my victory. An opponent who is not winning should come, his brother should come and disrupt the protest. Is that what is now going to be the status for all?
We apologize for that wrong inset, but what happens next? Here's Deputy General Secretary of the NPP, Haruna Mohammed, on what happens next in Yendi.
They are talking about them not declaring results and disassociating themselves from a certain kind of declaration. That does not give a true representation as to whether it is false or not, but the National Party is awaiting a report from them, also the Ghana Police Service and the regional representation, which was represented by the third Vice National Chairman. The General Secretary is very resolute in making sure finding solution to the Yendi impasse.
You heard NPP's Haruna Mohammed in what will happen next in the Yendi debacle. Now, lead counsel for one of the accused persons sentenced to death or sentenced to life imprisonment, I beg your pardon, for the murder of Major Mahama, says he will appeal the High Court's judgment, insisting it is unfair. The Accra High Court sentenced 12 people to life imprisonment after they were found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder and murder. Legal Affairs correspondent Kenneth Jisi has a wrap of what transpired in court.
7 years after the gruesome murder of Major Mahama at Dentroboase in the Central Region, 12 people, including then Assemblyman of the area, William Barr, have been found guilty and sentenced to life imprisonment. Attorney General Godfred Dame was pleased with the judgment.
Of course, the wheels of justice, as we all know, grind slowly, but today we have seen justice. We satisfied with the conviction of the 12 accused persons. 2 have been acquitted in accordance with due process. Yes, I do not think the Republic will contest the acquittal of those 2 persons. Yes.
Meanwhile, lead counsel for one of the accused persons, Theophilus Kafui Donkosa, tells Joy News that the judgment will be appealed.
From the discussion I have had with my clients, they are not satisfied with the directions that the judge gives to the jury, so they have instructed me to appeal the decision on their behalf.
Away from that, she lost her father in a horrific car accident in 2019. 2 years later, her 7-year-old brother was also killed by a speeding vehicle. This is the sad story of 15-year-old Mary Menu. Mary has turned trauma into inspiration, an inspiration that has birthed the development of a device that could help lessen the bloodshed on Ghana's roadways. Joy Prime Lois Shola Adeyemi has more on the following report.
This is the Aflao Tema Highway. This stretch has claimed many lives, including Mary's father.
My dad through road accident. The report that came out was that the driver was dozing off, so they were trying to dodge the car, but unfortunately it collided. Then my father passed away sadly.
The accident stole the young lady's source of joy and left her with a heavy load of traumatic experiences.
When I lost my dad, when I heard the news, I decided to stop schooling because My dad was my favorite person in the world, and then without him, I'm like nothing. It hasn't been easy since I lost my dad.
In the darkness emerged a story of resilience and hope. Mary found strength in her grief.
Because of pain. So when I saw that, I promised my mom that I will not let anyone in my family go through that pain again. This device alerts drivers whenever they are dozing off when driving. When the buzzer continues to beep and then the driver does not regain consciousness, the car will slow down and stop automatically.
Impressive invention there by Mary Menu, and that report was by Joy Prime's Lois Shola Adeyemi, bringing us to the end of the bulletin. In our top story, Ghana Union of Traders Association alarmed over possible disruption in their supply chain owing to the latest announcement by military leaders in Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger to leave the ECOWAS. Joy Business is up next on the Super Morning Show.
Over. It's the Clash of Titans. The Total Energies African Cup of Nations Côte d'Ivoire 2023 is here. And as part of this year's competition, all Total Energy service stations will go into 100% football mode. So drive to selected service stations and kickstart your year with lots of amazing giveaways. So starting Sunday 14th January, when you buy fuel or lubricants on selected match days from selected Total Energy service stations, you instantly win amazing branded souvenirs. Let's celebrate the passion of football together and win lots of gifts during the 2023 Total Energies African Cup of Nations. Remember, promo is valid while stocks last. Visit our social media pages Total Energies GH for more information. Terms and conditions apply. Let's live football together.
The boys are lined up looking for an opening. They are charging forward from our three. Kuku has his eye on the cashier, but Yo gets there first. He taps, and he scores!
Win your ticket to glory with the ABSA Card Assist. Tap to pay with your ABSA debit or credit card, and you could win an unforgettable Premier League experience in the UK or any of over 50 consolation prizes such as home appliances and shopping vouchers. It's time to tap and tap your way to the Premier League with your ABSA card. ABSA, the official banking partner of the Premier League. Terms and conditions apply.
Millennium Insurance has enhanced its motor insurance policy cover to make life more comfortable for you, our valued clients, and in the event of vehicle breakdown whilst on the road. To ensure your safety and that of your vehicle, Millennium Insurance will ensure that your broken down vehicle is towed to a safe place within 1 hour of call and 30 kilometers radius from the place of breakdown. This service is absolutely free. Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner, is on standby to be of service to you. Contact us now on 0501 394 997 or 0501 285 821, 0501 394 997 or 0501 285 821.
Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
Mothers of Africa.
Mommy, may I day in your one.
And what's the offer geisha semina subain? Gina hopinti na ko wenim. Mempaba, kosi se wonsa beka weni da swadi nyina.
Matumame, me gina painting akomenim na machapa to say geisha semina.
Be strong and loud.
Sankratwe FD Ajiatu.
Dive into a new era of news consumption with myjoyonline.com, your go-to destination for cutting-edge journalism, giving you the most credible stories from business to politics and from sports to entertainment. Myjoyonline.com introduces an upgraded news website meticulously designed to empower you with an enriched browsing experience like never before. Intuitive navigation. Navigate through an array of revamped categories that cater to all interests. Join the conversation with our interactive comments section. Get live TV,
confidence of the football
radio,
they can actually borrow,
and podcast of your favorite TV and radio shows on Joy and Adom platforms. Powerful search. Find any story with ease with a simple click. Access precisely what you're looking for Experience the future of news browsing with myjoyonline.com.
Piers.
Hi, Kuju.
How you doing?
Doing
Good
very
morning,
well.
good morning,
Doing very
good
well.
morning,
Good morning.
There's a lot of money in politics. It's a place where some people go to reap their cuckoo every election. Listen to how the political landscape itself, the political machinery itself, defends and explains what is a crime, vote buying, explains it away and makes it seem normal. Just listen to this.
My brother, you as a journalist, we have to be in reality. Once I'm going, you look for lorry first. Is it not normal in Ghana? Or you won't look for lorry fare, then you say it. So once I'm going, I'll go free.
I want to look for lorry fare from you.
Yes, then I will do that and give everybody a lorry.
Chairman Wundumi, explaining to a journalist, why money is being given to delegates for them to vote. He calls it lorry fare. Lorry fare to the tune of 10,000 cedis at a go.
Yeah.
I mean, where are they traveling from? That's going to cost 10,000 cedis. Space?
It's interesting. It's interesting, Kujo. And it's becoming a worrying trend when you take a look at the period, or we take a look at how far we've come when it comes to politics in Ghana. It appears, each and every time issues about monetization keeps increasing, and there doesn't seem any concern on the part of politicians to address this canker, and it's becoming worrying because why should you buy the voters' right?
The problem is that if we don't fix it, it's going to get much worse. So today we're talking about it on the Super Morning Show. First, big thanks to those who brought us the 6 a.m. news. I mean, Total Energies, Total, we go the extra mile for you. Absa Bank Ghana Limited, helping you find a way to get things done. And Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner. Here we go.
Good morning, everyone. This is the Joy Business Report. Coming up, Bank of Ghana to investigate reports of some individual holding cocoa bills who are yet to be paid as it promises to resolve this issue. Also, Governor of the Bank of Ghana insists the cedi has responded positively on International Monetary Fund's program despite recent challenges. Plus, Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry downplays any significant impact of 29% policy rate reduction on lending rate. We have these and many others for you. Please stay. Thanks so much for your company. I am Pius Kojo Baka. Straight to our very first story. The Bank of Ghana has promised to investigate reports of some individuals holding cocoa bills who are yet to be paid. This follows reports that some of the holders of the financial instrument who did not participate in the debt exchange program are yet to receive the required settlement. Dr. Ernest Addison is the governor of the Bank of Ghana.
Thought that all the individual holders of cocoa bills had been sorted out, actually. So I was surprised to hear about the noise that there are individual holders of cocoa bills who opted not to participate. I mean, individual holders were really not part of the restructuring of the cocoa bills. So that issue has to be resolved. I don't think that there's any big debate about that. We said that right from the beginning that originally they should not even have been sold cocoa bills. And therefore we ensured that all individuals were paid. So I was surprised to hear that there are a few out there still that were not sorted out, and we will look at it.
Let's stay a while longer with Dr. Ernest Addison because he is insisting that the cedi has responded positively on the International Monetary Fund support program. This has culminated in some $1.2 billion inflows from the fund. George Yafe has more.
Some have questioned the IMF program's influence on the local currency's fortunes. This was after the cedi ended last year with about 27% depreciation has even seen some blips over the past weeks. But Governor of the Bank of Ghana disagrees.
This is not a fixed exchange rate, but if you look at the graph, it appears as if the CD has been fixed, right? But that reflects, some of the improved external sector condition, current account balance, the improvement in the foreign exchange buffers of the central bank.
The Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Ernest Addison also justified the marginal policy rate cut despite push for a bigger reduction to help stimulate growth.
Couldn't we have gone any deeper? No, we couldn't have, because we have forecasted that we need to maintain this level of real rates in order to get to that end year rate.
The banking sector remains robust and they are even in a strong position to recapitalize way before the proposed deadline.
Remember, we had given them up to 2026, 3 years to recapitalize, but they are way ahead of the recapitalization plan.
The Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Ernest Addison also indicated that Ghana is doing far better than expected when it comes to the target set under the IMF program. Therefore, there wouldn't be any need for some extra measures implemented to aid in the quick recovery of the economy.
George Yafi with that report. Meanwhile, the Ghana cedi gained across the major trading currencies last week on the back of improved foreign exchange supply amid easing demand pressures. It appreciated by 1.21% against the US dollar to reduce its year-to-date loss of 0.9% on the retail market. Here's more.
The easing foreign exchange demand pressures, aided by Bank of Ghana's $11 million spot market intervention, relieved the cedi of some depreciation pressures last week. As a result, the cedi gained significantly against the American greenback to close at 12 cedis 38 pesos on the retail market. Analysts expect the local unit to continue to strengthen this week on the back of additional inflows from the World Bank. The World Bank approved $300 million for development policy operations in Ghana, with this release being the first of a series of 3 DPOs of $300 million each. These inflows from multilateral partners from last week will continue to aid the Bank of Ghana's intervention capacity and hold the cedi steady against the major foreign currencies.
A Business Desk report. Talking about the cedi, it's a better time now to look at how it's faring. And the cedi is going for 12 cedis 38 pesos to the US dollar on the retail market. It is selling at 15 cedis 55 pesos against the pound and is, however, trading at 13 cedis 38 pesos to the euro. Now, the Bank of Ghana has begun engaging accounting firms to undertake a review of models used by various banks to assess the quality of their loans books. Now, this is to ensure that the commercial banks conform to growing international standards capable of withstanding shocks. Head of Banking Supervision, Osei says plans are far advanced to use professionals from the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana and the big accounting firms to review the models. He spoke on behalf of the governor of the central bank during a short ceremony to launch a new Chartered Accountants Professional Qualifications syllabus.
These engagements provided clarity to industry on how to report the impact of the DDEP in their financial statements. A similar reporting framework was also developed by the Bank of Ghana with input from the ICAG during the COVID era to contain the external shocks. Presently, work is ongoing to engage the Big Four accounting firms to undertake a review of IFRS 9 ECL models currently being used by banks to assess the quality of their loan portfolios.
Osei JC is the head of banking supervision at the Bank of Ghana. Now, the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry says the marginal reduction in the policy rate from 30% to 29% will not significantly impact interest rates. According to the Chamber, it was expecting a sizable reduction to help reduce the cost of borrowing. Speaking to Joy Business, Chief Executive of the Chamber, Mark Beduabuaji, said private businesses are still struggling to borrow at over 35% interest rates.
Well, the impact will not be significant. Of course, at least interest rates either will remain the same or there will be a marginal reduction in interest rate. And as businesses, at this point in time, what we are expecting is not a marginal reduction, but a much more significant reduction in interest rate. Our interest rate now, average, is about 35%. I don't think that a 1% reduction in policy rate will cause interest rate even to fall below 30%. To be around 30-34, and that will not cost anything. Businesses, as I said, will not benefit from this reduction. We were expecting a reduction that will make businesses happy, a reduction that will bring lending rates significantly down. And of course, that did not happen. But I think it's a right signal.
Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mark Bedu Abuaji, speaking to Joy Business there. Now, the equity market is expected to perform well in 2024 due to the improving economy, low market valuation, and increasing interest in equities. That's a forecast by Data Bank Research. It forecasts a rise in the Ghana Stock Exchange Composite Index to gain 20% by the end of the year. Here's more.
The research firm said it expects banking stocks to fare better in 2024 as the financial sector continues recuperating from the aftermath of the domestic debt exchange program. Banks are undergoing another round of recapitalization, and many expect them to become better equipped to absorb shocks and maintain financial stability. This will present a potentially profitable investment opportunity over the medium to long term. Data Bank Research also expects Ghana's telecom market leader, MTN, to continue to do well in 2024 as its favorable market valuation, strong financial performance, and consistent dividend payout continue to draw investor interest. Despite the strong performance among consumer goods counters in 2023, it however foresees more capacity for these stocks to continue to do well in 2024, benefiting from the rebounding of the Ghanaian economy.
A Business Desk report. And to some other stories, the Chief Executive of Standard Chartered Wealth Management Limited, Dr. Seto Kwashiga, is urging Ghanaians to take advantage of offshore investments and diversify their portfolios. According to her, there is the need for people to not only focus on local bonds, but look for other investment opportunities as well. She spoke to Joy Business when a health fair met some investors.
Undercapitalized banks will at a minimum inject 1/3 of the capital required annually. The research firm said it expects banking stocks to fare better in 2024 as the financial sector...
We sincerely apologize for that cap there. Now, on Investor Eye, you must always be careful when an investment scheme promises high returns. The higher the return on the investment, the more risky it becomes. Let's take a listen to the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Reverend Dr. Daniel Ogbamitete.
Is whether you appreciate the risk return characteristics of the product. Because risk, I like to say, is the ever-present guest when it comes to investing. And there's always a trade-off. The principle is that the higher the return, the higher the risk, and vice versa. Unfortunately, people like to chase returns and they lose sight of the fact that there's a trade-off. So again, you must ask yourself, do I understand the trade-off between risk and return where this particular product is concerned? That would help you also to make a decision, because if the risk is more than you are willing or able to take, then you advise yourself. Okay, so that is very important.
Reverend Dr. Daniel Ogbamitete is the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission with today's edition of Investor Eye. Before we wrap up, let me take you to the commodities market. Crude oil lost about $3 to open trading at $77 a barrel this morning. Gold is trading at $2,032 an ounce after losing marginally. Cocoa, however, increased by $60 and selling at $4,732 a ton. Ending the Joy Business Report. Guess who is seated? The guy who promised to buy Wache. But never
Are you trying to say that you want to buy Wache for me this morning?
I haven't said so.
Let's be clear.
And listeners could bear us witness.
Sabu, before we go for our inspirational song for today, this man, I said we will eat Wache.
Yeah.
And he interpreted that to mean that I was going to buy him Wache.
But the moment you come out to say we'll eat Wache, it means you are sponsoring.
No, it means that...
So you will eat Wache, where are we getting the Wache from?
See, when I say we will eat Wache, the only definite thing here is that I am included. It does not mean that you You, Sabute.
So why tell me if I'm not?
You're not, but I'm only telling you.
But why must you come with a wachi idea when you know you are not sponsoring?
Exactly. I said we will eat wachi. It could be, Aaron and I.
Have you ordered for it already?
I haven't. At the time, I mean,
okay,
now,
so you order for some wachi.
No, I am not ordering. Now I have to be clear so that you will understand that we means I am included.
And you are.
It doesn't necessarily mean that
why should you tell? My point is, why should you tell me?
You must sponsor a wachi.
We will eat wachi.
You will understand later. Let's go for our inspirational song. It's MOG music with an ever medley. One for you, Pius Kojubaka. Thank you very much.
Yes, good morning, Kojo. Good morning. It's nice to have you on the news.
Nice to be here too.
Yeah. Well, special occasion, I think.
Oh, yes. He's a big man. So when you are going for honorable, it must be a special occasion.
It better be.
Yeah. Lots of political issues in the papers today. So
yeah, no doubt.
It's important you have a colossus like Elton John Robbie.
That's right.
Joining us.
AKA Honorable. In fact, why are we still calling you Honorable? At this point, you are Your Excellency.
That title
Which one? Excellency.
Excellency. Serious title.
Even brand ambassadors are calling themselves that.
Which brand ambassador?
You haven't seen some before.
Anyway, could you let me say good morning to my friend Ernest Davids?
Yes.
Because of this song, this ever medley, reminded me of my headmaster when I was a student at Dora Memorial School years ago.
Hey. How many schools did you go to?
Reverend C.K. Akatu. Oh, no, that was my basic school. So Reverend C.K. Akatu at the time taught us that one. And that's the grandfather of Ernest Davids. So let me say good morning to him. Anyway, let's go for our Drive Save tip for today. And it's the campaign brought to us by Joy News and the Multimedia Group and supported by Imperial General Assurance Solid Protection. So today's tip says, stay alert. Being alert, not sleepy or under the influence, allows you to react quickly to potential problems, like when the driver in the car ahead slams on the brakes at the last minute. Obviously, alcohol or drugs, including prescription and over-the-counter drugs, affect a driver's reaction time and judgment. Driving while drowsy has the same effect and is one of the leading causes of crashes. So rest up before your road trip.
Very important. All right, let's learn how to say it right. It comes to you this morning thanks to Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks. And Societe Generale Bank Ghana, the future is you.
Something must be done. You say either, I say either.
Today, we'll be talking about vote buying and the threat it poses to our democracy. I just can't fathom the motivation of political parties to carry out a practice that clearly threatens our entire political system. Now, I would like to draw your attention to a word I just used. Fathom. 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 Not phantom. Please note that phantom is a completely different word that shares absolutely no meaning whatsoever with fathom. Fathom simply means to understand or get to the bottom of something. The word has an interesting history. It comes from an old Saxon word, fathmos, which means outstretched arms. Now, the modern word fathom also refers to a measure of depth equal to about 6 feet, approximately the full length of a grown man's outstretched arms from fingertip to fingertip. When people started using the idiom get to the bottom of to mean understand, to fathom became a natural synonym. Phantom, on the other hand, is a completely different word. Phantom. Phantom. It means ghost or spirit. It can also mean a figment of one's imagination. As you can see, it is a noun and it does not mean understanding. So you must never say, I can't phantom the reason for something. It is fathom, not phantom. I trust this will help you fathom the difference. You're welcome. There you go. That's cleared that one up, hasn't it? All right, now let's do the news review. It's brought to you by Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough, and Enterprise Insurance at 100. Yafini Promotion, celebrating our legacy, securing your future.
Let me start with the daily graphic for today. Major Mahama murder, 12 jailed for life, 2 freed. And so it says that almost 7 years after the murder of Major Maxwell Adam Mahama, a 7-member jury yesterday returned a unanimous verdict of guilty against a former assembly member and 11 others at the High Court in Accra, bringing justice to his close relatives. And we're told that, the former assembly member at Denshroboase in the Central Region, William Ban, was found guilty on the charge of abetment of murder, while Bernard Asamoah, Kofi Nyame, Akwesi Ban, Kwame Tufo, Joseph Apia Kubi, Michael Enim, Akwesi Asante, Charles Kwening, Manuel Bedu, and others were found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder. The jury also returned a guilty verdict on the charge of murder against Asamoah, Nyame, Ban, Tufo, Kubi, Enim, Asante, and Kwening. But 2 others, Bismarck Donko and Bismarck Abanga, who stood trial alongside the 12, were however acquitted and discharged after the jury returned a verdict of not guilty to the charge of conspiracy to commit murder. All 12 sentenced to life.
At least for now, there is some closure on this matter. It's taking 7 years. For me, it's taking quite a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know why sometimes cases before the court takes too long for some conclusion to be made on them. But 12 years, there's justice finally for the late Major Mahama.
Exactly it is. Of course, it shouldn't have happened, but at least this would send the right signal. And I'm sure the family would finally, have some justice. It won't bring back their son. And so it's, while we talk about justice and everything, it's only an indication that never again must anybody be killed in such a manner.
You say never again, and that was really what I had hoped. At the time this thing happened, the outrage, the national outrage at this horrifying lynching, which was so unjustified, it turned out to be so unjustified, made us all feel like there would now be a change. That at least culturally we would now all come to abhor this idea of ganging up on someone and killing them just because we think they've done something wrong. But it didn't really change.
No, it hasn't changed much.
And that is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. It means we actually don't learn from anything. Nothing changes us. That's terrifying.
It is, Kojo. And let's get back to the daily graphic and ensuring sustainability. It's time to review Free SHS Varsity Dawn to government. And it's a former Pro-Vice Chancellor at the University of Cape Coast, Professor George Kwekutoku-Odro. He's urged the government to take immediate steps to review Free SHS policy through stakeholder engagement. And he said the very commendable Free SHS policy must be evaluated through stakeholder dialogue to ensure sustainability. And we've been having that conversation here. Look, last year, some friends sent their children to Mali school. And I remember joining them, was it this year, for them to, when the school resumed. Now, they went on the 20th, they went on, I think the 4th.
Last year.
Yeah, last year, December, on the 4th of December. And by the 21st of December, they were returning home. Then they go back on the 3rd of January, 2024. When we got there, and, anybody you spoke to, they say, this is a good policy, but they call for a review of it. Lots of things would have to be done to ensure that we actually get the best out of Free SHS. First, I have always insisted that Free SHS in the current state is discriminatory. If government wants to pay fees for students, government should pay same fees for everybody.
Everybody as in what?
As in all students.
All students, as I don't understand.
So all students in secondary schools.
Yes.
So
for those in private school.
Exactly. No, if you're going to
all right.
school. But I mean all those in public schools. Today there are those who are in the boarding houses and there are those who are day students. Same fees are not being paid.
Yeah, because there'll always be a difference.
Yes.
If you're in a boarding house.
That is why you don't see boarding is luxury. Boarding is luxury. All over the world, boarding schools are luxury schools. And boarding schools are paid for by the individuals concerned. So you don't start a system that says you're going to be paying boarding. No. 2, today, the system where food is bought for the schools and transported to them has become another corruption avenue.
But that's why the system is there. That's why they are doing it that way.
So go to all the schools today and find out what they eat. I had the shock of my life when in 2022, I went to Mali school.
Right.
Then I just went to meet the students. And I said, hope you've had breakfast. They said, no. I said, but I saw you having breakfast. You know what the children told me? They cannot term what they had as breakfast. Because they had Tom Brown without sugar and bread. That cannot be breakfast.
But I think parents should also take some responsibility in this. The fact that it is free doesn't mean that you should just send your kids to school without nothing.
And you've made the point. You see, the thing is, first of all, why is boarding being paid for? Why is boarding made free? Why? I mean, it doesn't happen. I literally cannot find another country in the world where this happens. I can't find one.
I think that the government wanted to remove every impediment.
Yes, but
such that there would not be excuse for the schools to be taking some money. So when it's free. That's why even sports fees, cultural fees, whatever fees, all of them are absorbed by the government.
That thinking in itself was flawed because it costs money to provide these things.
Yes.
You see, and boarding is, first of all, it's an option. It's an option. It's not compulsory for everyone to be a boarder. It's an option. Why pay for that option for some, and then for those who don't go, they don't get that paid for? What's the idea? You know, it was flawed thinking, and a review really needs to look at that. But who are we?
I remember I think 2 years ago, government said that they were planning to go to Parliament to give some legal backing to it. So that it will spell out some of the things that but we are almost, the government is almost at the final stage of, and nothing has been done about it. So as it stands now, it is a program that can be cancelled with a new administration that may not find favor with. No, I'm saying that it is also a possibility.
But you see, Elton, the other point you make, that parents should take responsibility. Do you know, and I'm not going to mention the school's name, do you know that today there are some schools that I've been to, where parents are actually advised. No, it's not advised. It's a rule. You cannot give money to your wards. So when you bring your children to school, the money is kept at the house mistress or house masters. So they keep that money for you. You can't even give your child money. And there are certain schools that you would not even get access to a lot of food within the compound.
Anyway,
so it's a whole problem.
Tom Brown without sugar, I'm wondering how. I'm wondering how you are consuming such a breakfast.
A government policy that is limiting your ability to provide for your child just so that they can look good.
No, that's the school saying. I don't know whether that's a government policy, but I actually looked at it's in the guidelines, and I am saying that look, I go to a lot of secondary schools, and I see these things. Some of them have the worst food. One of my friends, last time when I said, people said I was lying. One of my friends just last year, you may know him, and within our area, spent 6,000 Ghana cedis buying provisions for his daughter to take to school.
Right.
Yes, 6,000 cedis. Why? Because practically everything must be provided for. Anyway, let's move on.
So the Daily Guide has on the front page 12 Major Mahama killers caged for life. I think it is the same story on almost all the newspapers this morning. Election 2024, MPP presents 46 new candidates. That's also on the front page of the Daily Guide. EC distanced itself from Yendi election. Now, it's unclear how the party is looking at, but there's been a precedent. Remember, is it Asante Akim North and the Akuya Kubi in the 2020 parliamentary primaries? Even in this case, I don't think there was any election. It was the constituency chairperson who declared him winner. And then the party eventually endorsed that decision that was taken at Asante. So there's been a precedent.
In that particular instance, Kojo Bajama tried an injunction at the last minute.
Absolutely.
And you know how
the EC did not even go.
The EC didn't
turn up.
But the party then shows. So the party goes there. And there was one person. There was a very nice way of doing it. They said one person showed up to vote for Kojo Bajman. So he had one vote. And the rest voted for Andy Apiakubi. And so, But in this case, it is a situation where you have, people, you have, distraction in the process. The Electoral Commission leaves because they were there. They said they couldn't find some of the ballot papers. But then they say, we have found them. How did you find them? And how sure
I understand some of the ballots ended up in the pocket of the electoral officer.
A lot of things there. So, Nana B said yesterday on a small morning show that he's waiting for the report. But meanwhile, the party said the Electoral Commission has exclusive responsibility over the elections. So in that case,
the EC says they can't call that particular election.
Let's see how it goes.
Benchia clears wound to me. Also on the front page of the Daily Guide. So if you go to the middle page, Obuo, Claudia, they lost in the parliamentary primaries. Vodafone to become Telecel, policy rate dropped to 29%. I guess this is good news for the businesses. Back page, it looks like Man U issues Every day there's another issue about Manchester United. Marcus Rashford.
The Liverpool fan.
You know, because you're not seeing top. And then he went on a boozing what?
I don't know.
Slept around 3 a.m. Called in sick. Anyway, Stars coaching job opens application. Deadline is February 2nd. Now, for all those who've been telling the coach how to do his job, there's an application that has been opened. If you think that you are worthy, you have an experience to coach the Ghana Black Stars. There are over 30 million coaches that we have in the country. That they know all the strategies, all the tactics that can help the Black Stars win. The GFA says that they've opened application. Apply if you think that you can coach the Black Stars.
Well, but Elton, the reason, my challenge with what you are telling us is that the people who are supposed to appoint the coach are not also technical men.
They are not.
They are not.
There's not, if you ask me, I think the entire GFA structure should be collapsed.
But
it doesn't have to end with the coach. Everybody should go.
I mean, but you see, the truth is that sometimes you can actually, and if that's the case, look, Chris Hughton. Anybody who knows Chris Hughton, when he was at Brighton, where he was being commended for a good job and all of that, look at his wingers. You would find out the number of goals they were scoring: 1, 2, 3, and their tackles, blocks. So I mean, Chris Hughton it's a defensive-minded coach. So there are certain coaches, if you go for, you know what to expect.
Right.
The new finder says, don't use heads of state to resolve exit of 3 ECOWAS members, Professor Vladimir Tridan. So, yeah, and the exit of 3 members, something that we'd have to look at. Also on the front page, prime rate cut to 29%, a reflection of the impact of IMF bailout. It says $450 million manganese refinery to be constructed, Jinapo, and 12 get life imprisonment for Major Mahama's murder. That's on the front page of the finder.
And then the Ghanaian Times, again, the 12 cage for life. GMET caution Ghanaians about Hamatan. Now, if you are driving early morning and late in the evening, it's quite difficult seeing your way. And it's a warning to those who are driving, because we have the Hamatan in session, and you might want to be careful whilst driving. Man kills father, inflict cutlass wounds on mother and the niece as well. That's also on the 3rd page of the Ghanaian Times. A man believed to be in his mid-20s has killed his biological father, Mr. Kwaku Menu, at Asen Akrofom in the Asen district of the Central Region. The timely intervention of the Central North Police Command patrol team saved the suspect, Richard Menu, also known as Azonto, from being lynched by an angry youth from the area. The suspect is presently in the custody of the police. Guyana President urges African leaders to fashion a mechanism for payment of reparation. And he was in town over the weekend for the Africa Prosperity second dialogue that took place here in the Eastern region. Chairman Wontumi exonerated by the Kumasi Traditional Council. Back page again, the application has been open for the Black Stars coach. Morocco, their coach has also, the ban has been lifted. DR Congo stand Egypt in shootout, and yesterday Senegal also lost to Ivory Coast.
Yeah, Senegal lost
after leading by a goal for a long time in the dying embers of the game. Ivory Coast equalized and went to penalty shootout, and then they advanced. Ivory Coast, they've been so poor, so I'm so surprised that.
You see, do you remember in 2016, Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal qualified by drawing all 3 matches?
Exactly.
And they eventually
won. Yeah, eventually won the Euros.
That's it. Anyway, let's go for the online news review.
Let's do it. It's brought to us by Zenith Bank, in your best interest, and Goyle, good energy.
So what do you do when you're running out of fuel in your vehicle? Do you just stop up anywhere? Don't do that. Let's introduce you to the Good Energy family and why you must be a part of it. Gold Super XP 195 and Diesel SP are the best quality fuels with high performance in town for your vehicle. Gold Super XP 195 is high-grade fuel sold at the same price as normal fuel, and Gold Diesel SP is low in sulfur, making it an eco-friendly option for your vehicle. With over 440 stations across the nation, join the family that rewards you with quality for an energized driving experience. Goyle, good energy. Goyle, Yanara Yedim.
All right. Well, myjoyonline.com has lots of stories which unfortunately I cannot read from this distance even with my glasses on. Can you?
I've got one here that says NPP primaries, we might see an increase of independent candidates. That's according to Dr. Richard Amwako-Ba. And National Institutional Suppliers to picket Education Ministry over 30 million arrears.
Non-payment, right?
Yes, non-payment.
Related to the matter
that's
we've been talking about.
They don't supply them. And Major Mahama's murder 3 to challenge conviction that got them life imprisonment. I think we can go for the BBC News now.
Which is brought to us this morning by Fidelity Bank, believe with us, and Old Mutual, 10 years of greatness in Ghana, here for a lifetime.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
Want to feel energized for more? Fuel up with Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle. Our high grade fuel comes at no extra cost but with more power. And our Diesel XP, it's low in sulfur, making it an eco-friendly option for your vehicle. Experience high performance and quality with our products. Available everywhere. Choose Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Good energy.
Breaking news. Vodafone Ghana is becoming Telecel. Stay tuned.
It's a century of safeguarding dreams with Enterprise Insurance. In the spirit of our 100th anniversary, Enterprise Insurance revs it up with Yafinia Motor Promotion. One lucky winner will cruise around in a sleek brand new Nissan Kicks SUV. First and second runner-ups will jet off to Dubai for an all-expense-paid escape. Renew or get your vehicle insurance between January and June 2024 and win free fuel coupons. Monthly raffle draws give you cool gadgets like laptops, Samsung phones, microwaves, gas cooker, tabletop fridge, and many more. Enterprise Insurance Yafinia Motor Promotion is on at all our branches. Call your broker or agent to buy or renew your motor insurance and make history with Enterprise Insurance at 100. Celebrating our legacy, securing your future. Time-tested, truly trusted. That's the Enterprise Advantage. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Enterprise, your advantage.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
Shine bright like a diamond. Fine light in the beautiful sea. I chose to be happy. You and I, we're like diamonds in the sky. You're a shooting star, I see, a vision of ecstasy. When you hold me, I'm alive. We're like diamonds in the sky. I knew that we'd become one right away.
Consumer groups have misgivings about it. We find out why.
This is the BBC World Service, the world's radio station.
Hello, you're with Newsday on the BBC World Service with Victoria Wahunda and Rob Young.
Coming up, United Nations aid agency in Gaza says it's extremely desperate after its funding was halted by many Western countries over the alleged role of some of its staff in the October 7th attack on Israel by Hamas. We'll speak to an advisor to the Israeli Prime Minister.
Also ahead this half hour, farmers in the French capital have blocked major roads with tractors in a row over falling incomes. We'll speak to one of the farmers.
We'll also find out how growing geopolitical tensions are driving up arms sales as US weapons exports hit a record high.
And in Northern Ireland, the main unionist party says it's agreed to return to power sharing after reaching a deal over post-Brexit trading arrangements. We'll ask what is in the deal after a bulletin of the latest world news.
Hello, I'm Neil Nunes with the BBC News. Hong Kong is to introduce national security laws to supersede the draconian measures introduced by Beijing in 2020. The territory's chief executive John Lee said 4 new offences would be introduced, including that of insurrection. Critics, however, worry the bill will still be used to crush dissent. Martin Yip is in Hong Kong.
Officials say the new law will cover activities such as treason, espionage, sabotage and foreign intervention, and like the current Beijing-imposed measures, will have extraterritorial jurisdiction. Hong Kong's chief executive John Lee said countries criticizing his move should know that Hong Kong was acting to protect itself from attack. He highlighted the risks posed by British intelligence and the CIA, which he said had threatened to step up their presence in Hong Kong and mainland China.
There's been no let-up in Israel's offensive in Gaza, despite growing optimism that a ceasefire agreement is within reach. The U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has described a proposal on the table following talks in Paris as strong and compelling. But as negotiations continue, more than 200 people have been killed within a 24-hour period. From Jerusalem, Yolande Nell.
Residents say that Israeli airstrikes and shelling hit neighbourhoods across Gaza City. The renewed fighting in northern Gaza comes after Israel said late last year it had largely completed operations there. Yesterday, Hamas also fired its first volley of rockets for weeks at Israeli cities. Meanwhile, Israel's military said it was keeping up its pressure on Khan Yunis, which it's called the capital of Hamas in southern Gaza. The ferocity of the ongoing offensive has hampered aid distribution, leading to a further worsening of humanitarian conditions for Gazans after nearly 4 months of war.
Power sharing in Northern Ireland's devolved assembly is set to return after the biggest unionist party, the DUP, backed a British government deal aimed at addressing concerns over post-Brexit trade barriers and sovereignty. The details from Helen Catt.
The fact that there now is an agreement, I think that is a big moment, and I think the UK government is going to want to move pretty quickly on this, particularly given the amount of time that Stormont has been out of action, given some of the things we've seen in Northern Ireland over recent weeks in terms of major strikes. And that's certainly the mood music, if you like, that's come out of Chris Heaton-Harris, the Northern Ireland Secretary's statement last night. He said that he hoped to be able to finalise the deal as soon as possible. He confirmed that they will stick to the agreement. We, of course, don't know the details of that agreement yet, and we also know, of course, that the DUP has talked about there needing to be legislation, so we'll wait to hear what the detail of that is and how quickly that might be introduced into Parliament.
BBC News. The US has begun reimposing sanctions on Venezuela after the main opposition candidate was barred from standing in this year's presidential elections. Sanctions were only lifted in October, but the relief was conditional on the Maduro administration freeing political prisoners and making progress on elections. Though some activists have been released, on Friday, Venezuela's Supreme Court upheld the electoral ban on Maria Corina Machado. Ecuador's President Daniel Noboa has ordered the extradition of all jailed foreign nationals as it battles a prison crisis fueled by drug trafficking and violent gang battles. Ecuador declared a state of emergency this month, triggered by the escape from prison of one of its most powerful drug gang bosses during a riot. Protesting French farmers who've set up blockades on major roads around Paris have said they're prepared to keep up pressure on the government for as long as necessary. Here's Bethany Bell.
Farmers here say they're struggling to live from what they earn. Protesters camping out in their tractors say they want less red tape and less competition from other countries with lower environmental standards. The government has offered some concessions, but not enough to satisfy the unions. It's concerned that the farmers' anger could translate into support for the far right in the upcoming EU elections. Farmers have demonstrated in a number of European countries recently, including Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands, Poland and Romania.
A report in Britain has warned that the music industry remains a male-dominated environment where sexual harassment and abuse is common. MPs looking into the issue of misogyny in music found that the non-reporting of such incidents is high amid a culture of silence. BBC World News.
Imagine this. Your employees spend 1/3 of their lives at work. That's 13,000 days or 110,000 hours dedicated to their jobs. At Old Mutual, we don't just see the numbers, we see the faces and the dreams behind them. With our tailored group life insurance and pension plans, you can provide your employees with employee benefit schemes that gives them peace of mind for their futures and for their families. Make the choice that shows your commitment to your employees today. Call 0509-551-609 or email corporateservices@oldmutual.com.gh. Old Mutual, do great things every day.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally.
Hi, my name is Stephen Apia, the team coordinator of the Black Stars. I always like to keep hydrated naturally, every day, any day. S Natural Mineral Water does the trick.
Manufactured with the primary aim of preserving nature's finest minerals necessary for a healthy mind and body. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596-273-546 or 0596-273-547. This advertisement is vetted and approved by the FDA.
What's so tasty, creamy, crunchy, makes you happy when it's near? Munchie, munchie, oh munchie, shortcake biscuit.
Enjoy the unbeatable taste of Munchie Milk Shortcake Biscuits, serving you original milky richness for 20 years. Munchie, a rich ankasa. This advert is FDA approved. He's up bright and early, serving your premium morning radio show. The Morning Man. It's the Morning Man, Kojo Yankson.
Rihanna there Tuesday morning.
I like this song. I can't hear a thing, but I like it.
It's supposed to be what they call an anti-love song.
Oh, okay. I love it.
About the tragedy of love that doesn't go well. The title is "I Love the Way You Lie."
Oh, okay. But I like it. I like the rhythm and everything.
Yes, it's a nice tune. I mean, those two very talented.
Talking about the way people lie, today we have a very important conversation.
What a connector!
No, because you see, we have become a group of people, who know our problems, pretend not to know our problems, and thus do nothing about it, but always complain. So there's a problem staring us in the face. We pretend that is not a problem. So we don't do anything about it. And then we'll turn around again and say, we have to watch our democracy. Why? I beg, play that, Apia Kubi sound for me.
You see, before I play it, I just to echo what you just said, it's greed mixed with hypocrisy. These are two things that should never come together. Greed because everybody is pursuing their personal interest, and hypocrisy because, of course, in order to cover up for the fact that you are doing this for your personal interest, you have to pretend to be outreached. Meanwhile, the problem never gets solved. Listen to Apia Kubi.
Now, Semba Kwe, party is so much the party no say Yendi Sikasemo party. I can't do and now, Senesa, a convicted Siabaya, and can persuade this so Babasaki. The party for no one happy become Papa in a because I can't imagine myself coming back and spending this kind of money for no returns.
So basically what he's saying, apart from the little bit at the end in English, what he's saying is, look, the party needs to sit down and look at this monetization of elections. He says it makes no sense for anybody to spend the amounts of money that he has been spending to get elected for what he calls no returns. And if the party can't deal with this, he, for one, will never run for, parliament again. I mean, no doubt he's not alone in this sentiment. But then, you see, then comes the greed and hypocrisy. Because he has spent those amounts of money. He has spent them. In the last election, he spent it to get elected. That's why he's complaining about how much it cost him. So they are all participating in a system that they know is wrong, they know is going to derail democracy, but for their personal interest, they are willing to do it. Then they will complain about it.
Kojo, this is the Member of Parliament's salary currently, based on the committee that was end of 2020. The committee, they earn 28,000. They set up another committee which will determine this term. So for now, they are being paid
28,000. Right.
Multiply 28,000 by 4 years, 48 months, 1,344,000. 1 million.
Yes.
344,000 over a 4-year period.
Yes.
Now, if you pay 1,700 delegates 5,000 Ghana cedis each, that is 8.5 million. 8.5 million, okay, minus 1,344,000 would give you 7,156,000. That is your deficit.
Well, that is assuming there is no way to recoup that money.
That is
spent.
Assuming you don't spend 1 CD of your MP salary.
Indeed. Even on food.
So, why would anybody spend this amount of money when there is not expectation of a return? Where does the return come from? If not fleecing the state.
The state.
So, why? So today, our people are telling us that anybody with money can come into our political system, get in there, become a member of parliament. If you're lucky and your party wins, you become a minister. And then you begin to recoup that money. All the people who gave you money, they would come knocking on your door because it is investment and it's time for their returns.
Precisely.
Why are we pretending that nothing is happening which is hurting our democracy?
But one thing I agree with Mr. Apiakubi on is the fact that the parties are a big part of the problem. Listen to the Asante Regional Chairman justifying the provision of amounts like 5,000 cedis, like you just mentioned, to delegates. Listen to him.
My brother, you as a journalist, we have to be a reality. Once I'm going, you look for lorry fares. Is it not normal in Ghana? Or you won't look for lorry fare, then you say it. So once I'm going, I'll go free.
I want to look for lorry fare from you.
Yes, then I will do that and give everybody a lorry.
You heard the man.
Yes.
So you see, they will do everything to allow for that system of vote buying to exist. They will make all kinds of excuses for it. And by the way, let's be fair. It's not only the NPP. You remember when John Mahama gave transportation to all delegates in their, presidential primaries. It's the same thing. It's not about the amount of it. It's about the principle of it. You are setting up a system that allows for a candidate to give money to delegates who are supposed to vote.
And today, Kojo, you saw the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program's CEO being invited by the special prosecutor, arrested by the special prosecutor.
Yeah.
And the allegation why he was arrested was that what we are learning is that transfers were being made into accounts of people who are delegates in Asante Achim Central.
Yeah.
Transfers. State funds were being transferred. But why? And this is the man who went to contest elections.
Indeed.
So this is monies that are supposed to be used to assist people to thrive, to expand their businesses.
A national scheme.
But what you saw was a situation where these monies were going to individuals. You've seen it happening before. You've seen persons who are from Maslog going to contest elections, and they go and pretend to be helping people, and they will be sharing state funds.
Yeah.
What sort of a people are we? Well, this morning, we find solutions to these problems.
Yeah. And those who collect the money, who are trying to make it seem as if that is now their due, they will justify it. I mean, listen to some delegates. Listen to them.
On 27, normal 2000.
There are 110 delegates for my electoral area, but the MP selected only 27 of them and gave each 2,000 cedis.
It is a Cheska. I'm a man to come with me. Free besides a Megurush, Nidin will be a Sinidin.
And I know it's in a Cheska.
Just blatant. It's now completely institutionalized, and the parties are pretending it's not happening. The MPs are participating yet complaining. We need to find a solution. Stay tuned for that and more.
Wake up to joy, 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 sunshine and joy in the morning time. Yeah. Wake up to the Super Morning Show. Yeah, wake up to joy.
Right now, Fidelity Bank is excited to announce the call for applications of the Fidelity Young Entrepreneurs Fund once more. Now, are you an entrepreneur between the ages of 18 and 40, or 45 if you're a woman? And have you been operating a profitable business for up to 1 or 2 years in any of these sectors? Agriculture, small-scale and light manufacturing, technology-related business, creative arts, fashion, millinery, bead making, and green business, waste recycling and renewable energy. Seize this opportunity and access up to 200,000 Ghana cedis at an interest rate of 10% with no tangible collateral. Apply now at FYEI.fidelitybank.com.gh. For further details, you can also call 0531 012 935. You can try 0594 111 207 as well. Or just email sustainablefinance@myfidelitybank.net. Applications are open, so terms and conditions apply. Fidelity Bank. Believe with us.
And you know, as a business owner, insurance is very, very important. When you have a business, you're not only responsible for your livelihood and goods, but also for that of your customers, clients, and staff. SIC Insurance PLC has the full array of insurance policies for your business, which covers property, that's building, workmen's compensation, key persons, motor, public liability, business interruption, and more. Potentially disastrous situations can be prevented with the right insurance cover. So talk to SIC Insurance today on 0800 10005 or 0302 823 100, and you'll be glad you did. SIC Insurance, our promises are sacred.
Now, every time we eat, food and sugars are trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases, foul breath. Brushing your teeth every morning and night with Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal Toothpaste is the way forward. Pepsodent Charcoal is made of fine blends of fluoride with a unique combination of natural charcoal, lemon, mint, and zinc to whiten your teeth, strengthen them, and remove bad odor from your mouth. Charcoal White gently polishes away tooth stains and naturally restores your bright smile. Now, for their herbal lovers, you can try Pepsodent Herbal Toothpaste, which is infused with a unique blend of green tea and herbal extracts, formulated to repair and protect your gums while giving an all-round cooling sensation. Pepsodent Herbal releases, repairs, and protects gum tissue while giving you strong teeth. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent has been educating Ghanaians on how to brush their teeth for 25 years. Pepsodent is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association. Pepsodent gives you the opportunity to talk to a dentist for free. Call them toll free on 0800 161 000 to talk to a dentist free of charge. You can get Pepsodent at any shop near you. Call their customer care center on this toll-free number 0800 200 030. Pepsodent, every smile matters.
Yafini, well, Enterprise Insurance, leader in general insurance since 1924, celebrates 100 years with a Yafini Motor Insurance promotion. One lucky winner will drive off in a brand new Nissan Kicks SUV. First and second runner-ups will jet off to Dubai, all expense paid. To win, purchase, or renew your vehicle insurance with Enterprise between January and June 2024. Monthly raffle draws offer you lovely laptops, TVs, microwaves, fridges, and more. Also win instant free fuel coupons and gifts. Visit any Enterprise Insurance branch or call your broker or agent. Call us directly on 0302 634 777. Experience the time-tested and truly trusted 100 years legacy of Ghana's oldest insurer. Terms and conditions apply. Enterprise Insurance, your advantage.
Now, the Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations continues in Côte d'Ivoire, and of course, as part of this year's competition, all Total Energies service stations will go into 100% football mode. We still love the game, and we still want our customers, well, they still want you to feel the football fever. So drive to selected service stations and continue the year with lots of amazing giveaways starting the 14th. Well, it started on the 14th of January. Whenever you buy fuel or lubricants on selected match days from selected Total Energy service stations, you instantly win amazing branded souvenirs. So let's all celebrate the passion of football together and win lots of gifts during the 2024 Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations. Remember, the promo is valid while stock lasts. Go to their social media pages, Total Energies GH, for more information. Terms and conditions apply. #FootballTogether.
Before we close, let me just bring in the UPSC Law School Point of Law series for today. And that's from Section 63E of the Chieftaincy Act 2008, Act 759. It says it's a criminal offense for a person to refuse to undertake communal labor announced by the chief in the area without reasonable cause. It is a criminal offense for a person to refuse to conduct communal labor announced by the chief in the area without reasonable cause. Section 63E of the Chieftaincy Act 2008, Act 759. Now, start the new year with easy and secure movement with SG Ghana. Get reliable motor insurance and receive free fuel for your car. Buy or renew your Sound Drive insurance with SG Ghana from now to the 31st of March and get free fuel up to 500 Ghana cedis for your trips. It's time to hit the road with reliable insurance and free fuel. Visit any SG Ghana branch today and get the cover you need for your car plus free fuel to take you places. Sound Drive plan is underwritten by Allianz Insurance. Terms and conditions apply. Societe Generale Ghana. The future is you.
All right, now don't forget to go to kingdomstoreonline.com and sweep up all of your favorite quality office essentials, equipment, and furniture at affordable prices from Kingdom Books and Stationery. You can pay via Momo across all networks and then just wait in your home or office for your delivery. If you live in Accra or Tema, you don't even pay for that delivery, which is a nice bonus. Terms and conditions do apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
So it's the Imperial Insure and Win promo reloaded. Insure your vehicle with Imperial General Assurance from now till the end of April and get yourself handsome rewards, free, coupons. That's fuel coupons, special souvenirs, gift vouchers, and many more. And here's the catch: during this reward period, your motor insurance policy will give you an automatic 1-year life insurance cover. You could also get brand new car tires and other car accessories as well. It's really reloaded. Everybody qualifies. Just come insure your vehicle and you're done. Call us today on 0577667436 or talk to your broker or any of our agents across the country for further details. You can also follow us on all our social media handles. Terms and conditions apply. Imperial General Assurance, solid protection.
All right, it's about that time for the nutrition line from Nestle, and they offer good food for a good life.
Mavis, this your son? Yeah, football star. When does he train? What time does he even wake up?
Breakfast time. No, he wakes up earlier, but when I give him Milo with breakfast, that's when I see that the champion in him is awake.
Don't just wake up your child, wake up the champion in him. Let Milo with Active Go and the natural goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa help wake up the champion in your child every day. Milo, energy to go further. Milo! This advert is FDA approved.
This is Nestle Nutrition Line. Nestle Nutrition Line is a public service program from Nestle Ghana Limited. Nestle Nutrition Line offers tips on good food for a good life. Now to your presenter.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Nestle Nutrition Line. Today, we're discussing how keeping a food diary can help you in your weight loss. I'm Jackie Ankra, also known as Na Ajilisoa. And have I told you lately how beautiful you are and how special you are. Don't you ever forget that, no matter what. A food diary is a written record of all that you eat, when you eat, and how much you eat for a given period. Weight gain or loss is due to a balance of energy from the food we eat and energy from the activities we do. A food record is a good way of putting in writing what you eat, how, when, and how much you ate or drank. One benefit of a food diary is that it can help a dietitian or your doctor give you dietary advice based on your actual practices. Another benefit is when you look at a written record of all you've eaten in a week, you can easily identify bad dietary habits which you can target. The buffruit and the domedo, for example. Typically, a week's food diary should be good enough for you to notice patterns of food consumption that you can work on to eat healthier. Time flies when you're having fun, and all too soon we've come to the end of another episode. I hope you've learned something beneficial, something that you can apply for a healthier, longer, happier life. We will be standing by to hear from you, building on the partnership, building on the friendship. Do please reach out and let's share a few ideas, suggestions, and opinions. 0302 517 020 or 0302 211 880. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Toll free 0800 12 0001. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to midnight. Weekends and holidays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. To send a WhatsApp, SMS, or call between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. 0593 845697, 0593 845649, or 0593 845708. Alternatively, you can send an email to consumerservices@gh.nestle.com. I wish you a beautiful, fruitful, prosperous day. And don't forget to eat a fruit or two. Go out and enjoy all the blessings that the day brings you. Bye.
Mavis, this your son. Yeah, football star. When does he train? What time does he even wake up?
Breakfast time. No, he wakes up earlier, but when I give him Milo with breakfast, that's when I see that the champion in him is awake.
Don't just wake up your child, wake up the champion in him. Let Milo with Active Go and the natural goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa help wake up the champion in your child every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo!
This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, Ma, the way you're always getting alerts these days, I won't be surprised to hear that you have gotten a Momo for Business account by my next visitor.
Oh, I'm already on Momo for Business,
Since when?
Since. Now, it's easy to apply for a merchant SIM. All you need is a registered MTN number, your business certificate, your Ghana card, and you are good to go.
Sir,
you think you are the only one who knows what's up, eh? Look, I just dialed *5051#, selected register, and the region I was requesting the SIM from, and waited for my SMS with my reference number. You can even go online at momomerchantapplication.mtn.com.gh and complete the details for an even better experience.
Hey, Grandma Momo.
Sign up for Momo for Business the easy and simple way. Just visit momomerchantapplication.mtn.com.gh or dial *5051# and follow the prompts and be on your way to owning a Momo business account today for free.
MTN. Have you ever thought of the one that makes you complete? An escape from the clutches of interest charges. With the Standard Chartered Visa debit and credit cards, payments are completed at the speed of light, intertwined with interest earning accounts. You also get unbelievable rewards every time you swipe. You have access to over 1,200 airport lounges worldwide, high credit limits of up to 100,000 Ghana cedis, and up to 50 days interest-free with our credit cards. You also get to enjoy full multi-trip travel insurance for 90 days. Fees discounted at your feet with our globally partnered merchant points. Bills are always settled, not battled. Get the Standard Chartered debit and credit card now. Call toll-free on 0800 740 100 or 0302 740 100, or reach us via email on feedback.ghana@sc.com. Standard Chartered, here for good.
Wake up, have a great day, yeah, with nourishing cowbell premium milk and cowbell Vita Rich, nourishment for you. There's a cowbell milk for you, for you, for you. Cowbell Vita Rich and cowbell premium.
Introducing the new Cowbell Premium Milk, high in protein, and the new Cowbell Vita Rich, enriched with vitamin B9, both so creamy. Now there's a Cowbell for you.
Cowbell, a creamy goodness.
This advert is FDA approved.
Alrighty then, birthday messages on the Super Morning Show are brought to you by MTN. Everywhere you go. Bank of Africa, the African bank with global reach. Bank of Africa, strong as a group, as close as a partner. Right. Today happens to be Nathan Gaduga's birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yes. He used to be here at myjoyonline.com. He's our guy. Happy birthday to you, Nate Dog. Also, happy birthday to Kekeli Anyomi, Ophoria Mamfo, Immaculate Larson, Gerard Hood, Jeremiah Flynn Aka, Kofi Asare, Phil Dawson, Rashid Mohammed, Karim Sa, Daniel Usufrimpong, Wuni Masim, Ike Jase Yeboah, and Rosamond Atakesen.
Okay, I think I have some few dedications here. So this one says, Happy 50th birthday to Ruby Jukunu Kege from your husband Gideon Ametepe Kege and the entire Jukunu Kege and Oseboafo family. We love you too much. And this one says, you are my entire heart in human form, a reflection of God's love for us. Happy birthday, Mr. Obedboa. We love you from your wife, Nana Kwabia, and your children, Nana Kusiwa, Eja, and Ohemaboa. And of course, also from Pasino Man. And it's Mary Gifty's birthday. So happy birthday to Mary Gifty of the Joy Newsroom. Happy birthday to you. That's it from me. Okay, so I think we can get into the sports sector.
We can't, just a quick one. Belated happy birthday to Andrew Techi Apia, a.k.a. Rizzo, who's the CEO of ZPay. Yesterday was his birthday.
Okay, let me just say congratulations to our friends at Labadi Beach Hotel, because at the South Ghana Hotels Association Awards 2024 held over the weekend, the CIMG Hospitality Facility of the Year Labadi Beach Hotel won 5 awards in different categories. Most digitalized hotel of the year, 5-star category, most secure hotel of the year, conference and banqueting team of the year, 5-star category, most customer-oriented hotel of the year, 5-star category, and the coveted 5-star hotel award of the year. So it's congratulations to the team at Labadi Beach Hotel, and thanks to all patrons for making them number one.
They are most certainly the most awarded hotel of the year, aren't they? And I mean, you just have to stay there once to understand why it's such a celebrated hotel. Congratulations to the team at Labadi Beach Hotel. All right, now the Joy Sports Center is brought to you by MTN. Everywhere you go, Standard Chartered Bank, here for good. DSTV, it's your moment. And Cowbell,
our creamy goodness. So welcome to your future designed exclusively to propel women-led businesses to the next level. Are you a female entrepreneur developing technology or leveraging technology? The Standard Chartered Women in Tech Incubator Program offers specialized mentoring, mini MBA business courses, curated networks, tailored master classes, and seed funding to help you unlock unimaginable business growth. Apply now to the Standard Chartered Women in Tech program. Visit scwomenintechgh.com or Standard Chartered Bank Ghana social media pages for more information. Application deadline is 29th February 2024.
All right, now, I don't know if you've already heard, but MTN Momo now has an app. Yeah, MTN Momo has a brand new app specially designed to make your Momo experience easier, convenient, and faster. Just download the Momo app on Play Store or App Store on your smartphone and look out for the blue and yellow icon. It's that simple. MTN Momo app allows you to view your statements, to pay bills, and so much more. Use the app for your Momo transactions and enjoy a 100% bonus when you recharge using the Momo app. So go on and download the Momo app now and start transacting with a flex at no data cost. Just Momo it everywhere you go. Yo.
Thank you very much, Kojo. How are you?
I'm there for you. How are you?
I'm very well.
Solid.
We're back again here on Sports Center. Good morning to all of you and welcome aboard to the Joy Sports Center. Coming up over the next 10 minutes, we've got AFCON and, of course, lots of news regarding the Black Stars of Ghana.
Musa Niakate, the central defender. Oh, against the post! And Ivorians are up on their feet around this stadium. This is a huge moment. Everybody is on their feet inside this arena. But Kessié, meanwhile, can start a huge party across the Ivory Coast. And he does! And Ivory Coast are through to the quarterfinals of the Africa Cup of Nations. And Kessié has done it again. And he celebrates again with a tribute to his late father. And there are scenes of absolute pandemonium.
That's right. Last night, Côte d'Ivoire put on a masterclass on how to win back your fans. Frank Kersey converted the winning penalties to secure a quarter-final ticket for Côte d'Ivoire and kick out defending champions Senegal from the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations. It was a 5-4 penalty shootout victory after the match ended 1-0. Kessie scored the equaliser for the Blues hosts 4 minutes from normal time to take the round of 16 clash into extra time at the Charles Cornam Barney Stadium. The penalty was awarded after VAR referee review when Edouard Mendy brought down substitute Nicolas Pepe in the box. The Côte d'Ivoire goalkeeper, that one came after Habib Diallo rifled in the opener in the 4th minute from the centre of the box following a terrific Sadio Mane delivery. A miss from Moussa Niakate in the shootout handed Côte d'Ivoire the advantage. Sebastian Haller and captain Serge Aurier then scored theirs as much of the crowd willed them on. Mane kept the shootout alive, blasting his finished pass for Fana. Kessie then stepped up to deliver the ultimate redemption for the host nation, who will now face Mali or Burkina Faso in the quarterfinals. It is a worthy note. It is very worthy to note that since 2010, no AFCON defending champion has gone past the round of 16, and it's a record that is continuing at this competition. There was another game yesterday, earlier in the round of 16.
Oh, that's so good. It's a giveaway. And the goalkeeper's brought down. It's going to be a penalty. It's a Mendes. Ryan Mendes. Mendes has scored for the voracious Blue Sharks. The goal that could send them through to the last 8.
Yeah, that's Cape Verde's Ryan Mendes. He scored a penalty that broke Mauritanian hearts and booked an AFCON last 8 slot for Cape Verde for just the second time in their history. The game looked set for extra time until Sheikh El Wali's defensive header inadvertently played in Ben Shimo, who was brought down by goalkeeper Babacar Nias. Captain Mendes did the rest, smashing in the sport kick after the 88 minutes. The result sets up a quarterfinal meeting against Morocco or South Africa. Later, those two will face each other at 8 p.m. Elsewhere, Mali will then take on Burkina Faso at 5 at the Amadou Gon Coulibaly Stadium. We can do some more stories on the Black Stars now. While other nations are still fighting for the ultimate at the AFCON, Ghana is back home and chasing authorities to account for the humiliating group stage exit in Côte d'Ivoire. The Member of Parliament for North Tongue, Samuel Okudjata Blackwell, he's revealed that the Ministry of Youth and Sports budgeted $8.5 million for the AFCON. This was contained in a statement he published on social media, which was read by my colleague Adamu Bening Abdul Karim.
From latest, unimpeachable, irrefutable, and indisputable intercepted documents in my possession, I can boldly confirm that the Ghanaian government and the GFA agreed on a shocking AFCON preparation and participation budget of $8,506,450. The figure is contained in an intercepted letter from the Ministry of Youth and Sports dated 2nd January 2024. It is addressed to the Ministry of Finance requesting part payment of $5,071,840 from the Black Stars total budget. The request letter in issue is signed by Chief Director of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Mr. William Kati, on behalf of the Minister, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf.
That's aspects of a Blackwell statement there. Meanwhile, the former president of the Ghana Football Association, in fact, before we even talk about Kwesi Nyantakyi, Joyce was tried everything possible to get the Ministry of Youth and Sports to reveal what Ghana's budget for the AFCON was. Those efforts proved futile, and since Blackwell's claims, the Ministry of Youth and Sports have refused to comment on the purported 8.5 million they budgeted for the AFCON. Meanwhile, the former president of the Ghana Football Association, Kwesi Nyantakyi, is urging the government to help the GFA secure more sponsorships by providing guarantees.
I'm not even asking for direct injection of public funds into GFA or the management of these leagues, but a facilitatory role, government guaranteeing or providing certain guarantees, benefits. The minister should team up with the FA and approach these companies and assure them of the benefits, tax incentives, etc., that they can derive from sponsoring football. Mm-hmm. And when this is done, it is not a direct injection of cash from the government, but you will see that it will help.
That's question Yontachi there. Certainly, MTN, they are one of the Black Stars' biggest sponsors, if not the biggest. And their outgoing chief executive is Selam Adadevo. He's encouraged Ghanaians not to give up on the Black Stars despite recent dip in performances. MTN pumped $2 million in sponsorships into the Black Stars ahead of the 2022 FIFA World Cup. And at a farewell stakeholder engagement yesterday, Adadevo was asked why MTN continues to invest in the national team despite their recent struggles.
As a football fan myself, one of the things I've come to learn is, when you support a team, you have to support the team through the good and through the tough. And of course, Black Stars is going through a tough time right now. It's important for us to support and to continue to support so that we can rebuild the structures that are required for the Black Stars to do what they have to do for us. There's a lot of pride, national pride. When you talk about Ghana outside of Ghana, there are maybe 3 or 4 things people talk about. They talk about the Black Stars. They will talk about Kwame Nkrumah, sometimes Kofi Annan. But there are not that many things that consistently over the last maybe 20, 30 years have repeated itself in terms of being top of mind about Ghana. So there's a lot that we need to show the Black Stars to allow us the chance to come back and be the Black Stars that we all expect them to be. And
that's Selam Adadevo, outgoing CEO of MTN. Now, still on the Black Stars, the chief executive of Databank, Ojo Adai-Mensah, has replaced Ace Ankoma on the GFA's 5-member search committee for a new Black Stars coach. Ankoma did not accept to serve on the committee. Meanwhile, German coach Jürgen Kohler has applied for the vacant Black Stars coaching job after holding talks with the GFA. Kohler submitted his application to the 5-member search committee ahead of the February 2, 2024 deadline. And Joy Sports sources say Kohler applied for the job after a formal approach by the GFA through its vice president, Mark Addo. Let's do Africa Games now, because the 2023 Africa Games is less than 40 days away, but critical aspects of infrastructure required to host the multi-sport event remain unfinished. I was at the Lagos Stadium over the weekend, and this is what I can report.
Back in November last year, during a 100-day countdown event, Minister for Youth and Sports, Mustafa Yusuf, said all facilities would be completed and handed over by the end of December 2023.
Contractors are all expected to hand over the facilities in December, and most of the contractors, especially the Games Village, the contractor is done. We are just waiting because some of the students are still here. That is why the contractor is still on site. Once the students leave, the contractor will put the finishing touches, and the games. The University of Ghana has revised the academic calendar for us to be able to host the game.
This was a message re-echoed by chairman of the local organizing committee, Dr. Ofosu Asare, who went a step further to claim that January 2024 would be used to test the facilities.
Before, what you saw today, what does it tell you? It tells you that we've come very far, and they are committed. They're working day and night, working around the clock, and they have assured us that come end of December, they're going to hand over the facilities to us. The same thing applies to Concert over here and Mawums, where we're standing, and they'll be handing over the facilities to us, and we'll use January and February to carry out the test.
But at the end of January, no single facility has been fully completed, and none has certainly been handed over.
The Lagos Sports Stadium will be the center of the Africa Games. It will be the host of the track and field event, which is the biggest attraction of the 26 sporting disciplines that will take place here in Accra.
Grounds have been prepared for the tartan tracks to be laid, and despite the tartan material arriving weeks ago, the actual laying has yet to begin inside the stadium. And that work could take weeks to finish. Groundsmen are also still busy restoring the pitch, which will host football games as well as field events. Aspects of the VIP area appear completed, with public announcement speakers fixed. But metal fabrications, painting, installation of critical power lines, fixing of sanitary wares are all still ongoing. The story is no different outside of the stadium. Access routes around the facility as well as the car parks have all yet to be completed.
More on that report in our subsequent bulletins and on television as well. And we're doing our own very own 40-day countdown to the competition. It starts on March 8th, which is less than 40 days away now. There'll be Premier League games today. Arsenal play away to Nottingham Forest at the City Ground. And reports in Spain over the weekend suggested the Ghana's boss Mikel Arteta told friends he was leaving the club at the end of the season and is in line to replace Xavi at boyhood club Barcelona. And Arteta, he says those rumors are untrue. That's our sports this morning on the Joy Sports Centre. My name is Fentio Tahiru Fentio. Back to you, Winston.
Fentio.
Yes, sir.
So we budgeted $8.5 million.
Yes.
To win a tournament that the prize money is $7 million.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
What's your point?
No, I just don't understand.
I don't think sports is necessarily a profit and loss venture all the time.
Okay. But another country budgeted $2.1 million.
Yes.
Ah.
So that is where the conversation should be.
So I was going there. I mean, it's gradual. People say, media grow about if you're not the Mrikabishi.
Yes.
So someone could budget.
For example, Zambia. That's
$2 million.
the example, yeah.
And we budgeted
8.5.
What's wrong with us?
Something is wrong with us.
No, I don't understand.
Something is wrong with us. Because, listen, if you are going to Côte d'Ivoire, where pretty much everything is taken care of by CAF, okay, so the team's hotel, their lodging, their transportation, all those things are taken care of by CAF, that should drastically reduce your budget. So the rest of your expenses would come in maybe extra stuff you're taking to the tournament. You might take a cook because you want your players to be comfortable eating your own food. So like I said, you might take extra staff because it's a tournament, and so you might incur some cost there. You might invest in maybe some equipment, maybe some new scouting equipment here and there, but still, none of that. When a big chunk of what you are supposed to incur is taken care of by the tournament host or the competition organizers, there really is no point for you to want to spend that much money. But you see, when you look at what goes into our budget, now you can understand the mindset of the people. Because I can tell you on record that we pay appearance fees of $20,000 to each player. And that is irrespective of whether or not...
so we paid each player $20,000?
Yes, that's already been paid. And that's coming out of the budget. We did the same thing at the AFCON in 2022. So they call it appearance fees. So long as you have been named in that 27-man squad.
Hold on. That by virtue of your decision to appear and play for the Black Stars at the AFCON, you are paid $20,000
at a go, and that is not subject to any conditions. It is unconditional fee. The only condition is you have to be named in the squad. And we paid this money in 2022 as well. In fact, the Parliamentary Select Committee on Sport had an investigation. Okay, they held an inquiry into the disaster of our group stage exit in Cameroon, where the minister, the NSA boss, and Captain Andre Ayew appeared before the committee to answer questions on how we ended up participating in our worst AFCON ever. And there it emerged, for example, that we actually paid $20,000 to each player in cash in Cameroon, in direct contravention of the recommendations and the subsequent white paper from the Jamefe Commission, which barred the national team or even national team handlers or the Ministry of Youth and Sports from transporting cash to competitions. But we went to Cameroon and we paid players cash prices of $20,000 each. The coaches took $40,000, and all of that was paid in cash in Cameroon.
So this one, we paid Chris Hughton to that amount of money?
Yes. The coaches take double the amount the players take. So that $20,000 that the players are supposed to take, the coaches will take $40,000, double that amount of money. And this is not even hearsay. This is fact. So, and we keep doing it, and it's just what it is. So all of that comes out of the budget. Then they were supposed to pay each player $37,000 as a qualification bonus if they made it out of the group.
But we did not make it.
We didn't make it, so that will not count as expense, even though it was included in the budget. You understand? So we budgeted 8.5 million. Certainly we didn't spend 8.5 million. It'll be interesting to see how much we actually spent. So that is another issue.
No, I mean, this thing about, before you go, Fentio.
Yeah.
I remember, this Manchester United captain, his name just escaped me. He was a defender. The one who became a coach of Sunderland.
Steve Bruce.
Steve Bruce, yes. He never played for England.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched a documentary of him. He said his greatest wish would have been to just wear
the England jersey.
Just once.
Wow.
Just once to play a match. And he would give everything just to have achieved that.
Yeah.
But he never got the chance to.
It's a matter of pride. And yesterday, Cote d'Ivoire actually, they showed us all that you can win your fans back. The Ivorian fans were so upset after the group stages when they thought the team wasn't going to qualify that they destroyed buses, including the team bus. They stoned them because they believed the team was not going to qualify. They got only 3 points, 1 win, lost 2 games, got a goal difference of -3. And yesterday when they showed up, they showed everybody in that country that it is possible for us to win back your love.
Mm-hmm.
And they put blood and sweat. They left blood and sweat on that pitch. And they beat Senegal, who won 3 games in the group stages.
Yeah.
So it is possible to redeem yourselves. And the Black Stars players can look at this and, and know that it is not that difficult to get the whole country behind you. You just have to show that you care. Before I go, I've just pulled out that report from the Parliamentary Select Committee. I'll just read this one paragraph to you.
Please do.
He says, the committee was informed that the payment plan for the players and the technical team was $20,000 cash each as appearance fee. The coach would have been paid an amount of $300,000 as winning bonus if Ghana had won the AFCON title. And this is from the 2021 AFCON in Cameroon, this report. Now, it goes on to say, the ministry also informed the committee that the winning bonuses for the players were paid by check. However, the appearance fees were paid in cash. The coach, however, received twice the amount of the players, which is $40,000, and the committee therefore recommends that the ministry should desist from carrying cash to such tournaments to avoid misplacements or theft and ensure that all payment is made timeously by check. So, and this is my problem. This is a committee, a parliamentary select committee, that discovered that we took cash to Cameroon. When the German Affairs Commission report said we should never do that, and there was a white paper issued on it that accepted those recommendations. Now, they've done that. They've taken cash to Cameroon in direct violation of that white paper. And instead of this committee actually maybe recommending punitive measures against the people that did that, they've gone ahead to also recommend again that they shouldn't take cash. So at what point do we start to punish people for breaking the law?
Oh, Ghana. Anyway.
So we just keep recommending. So another committee comes, another committee recommends the same thing, and it's just recommendation after recommendation.
Well, and I get, people who are happy that we're, knocked out of the competition.
That is the point. That is the point. And for me, it's a really bad situation to find ourselves that every time the Black Stars are playing, money is always mentioned in the equation. And every time money is mentioned, you see people saying that suddenly, like I say, after the Brazil 2014 World Cup fiasco, Winston, there is this trigger when bonuses and Black Stars are mentioned in the same sentence. People just get very angry.
They should have, it should be a bit of a pride. It should be your pride that you played for the national team. Why is everything money these days? Anyway, thank you very, very much for joining us with the latest in the world of sports. You can definitely get on to X or WhatsApp and share your thoughts with us. WhatsApp number 05511119997. Time now for the Joy Business Minute, brought to us by Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG. We stand with you and Anointed Electricals, the generator experts.
Hello and welcome to the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you and Anointed Electricals, your generator experts. The Bank of Ghana has promised to investigate reports of some individuals holding cocoa bills who are yet to be paid. This follows reports that some of the holders of the financial instrument who did not participate in the debt exchange program are yet to receive the required settlement. Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry says the marginal reduction in the policy rate from 30% to 29% will not significantly impact interest rates. According to the Chamber, it was expecting a sizable reduction to help reduce the cost of borrowing, and the equity market is expected to perform well in 2024 due to the improving economy, low market valuation, and increasing rate in equities. That's a forecast by Data Bank Research. That's all for the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, and Anointed Electricals, your generator experts.
All right, so welcome back. And Anointed Electrical Engineering Services Limited is into the sale of ultra-silent generators. That's from 5 kVA to 2,500 kVA. And they undertake maintenance and repairs of all kinds of diesel generators. They also stock genuine spare parts of all kinds for various generators and also do generator rentals. In East Legon, you can locate Anointed Electricals on the Lagos Avenue opposite Tomric Hotel. In Tema on the Tema General Hospital Road, Community 9, just after the overhead. And at Odoko, where they have their head office, number 77, Anointed House of the Odoko Madam Road. And they've got branches nationwide. Anointed, the generator experts. Contact them on 0243 480 334. But let's get interactive this morning here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Get on to X, use the hashtag JoySMS, and you can join us on WhatsApp 05511119997. Social media message on the Super Morning Show brought to us by Provident Insurance. With Provident, man, you're covered. And EcoBank, a better way, a better Africa. But of course, today, our conversation.
Now, some back where my party is so much the party no say you need to party. I can't do and now, Sanya said, if you are convicted, see a bear. I can't emphasize this is over Bosaki. The party for no one happy become because I can't imagine myself coming back and spending this kind of money for no returns.
I can't imagine myself coming back to spend this amount of money for no returns. Andy Apia could be Member of Parliament for Asante Achim North. He was re-elected as parliamentary candidate for the NPP in that constituency. Very unhappy about the demands of delegates. That today, if you want to go to Parliament, you have to pay delegates. And he says, I can't do this for no returns. So, what's your take on this? And how do we deal with it? I hear there are many people who say they are happy being delegates. Is that how low we've sunk as a nation? Stay with us right here on the Super Morning Show. But I'd love to know what your thoughts are. This morning we're joined by a team of great men to help us do justice to the topic. But you know, everyday people face different emergencies. Police emergency, fire emergency, medical emergency. You name them, but many Ghanaians don't know the emergency numbers. Well, here's one you'd always want to remember. *770#. Yes, *770# is the new EcoBank Money emergency number. And *770# gives you instant access to loans, fund transfers, utility payments, airtime and data purchases, and so much more even without data. So there's no need to panic when you find yourself in any money emergency, because EcoBank will always come to your rescue. Just dial *770# now for solutions to your money emergencies. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. EcoBank, a better way, a better Africa. And Provident Insurance welcomes you to a new year. Remember to insure your vehicle or renew your existing motor insurance policy from now to the 31st of March and get free gifts such as fuel coupons. You get gifts such as fuel coupons and several other branded Provident Insurance souvenirs. Rush now for your insurance cover now. Terms and conditions apply. Remember, with Provident, man, you're covered. And of course, on big stories, we're talking about the monetization of our democracy and its threat to our democracy. Big story is brought to us by Vodafone, Further Together, and latest form, your partner for life. So looking for the best value data and voice offers, look no further, as Vodafone has unbeatable deals made just for you. To enjoy these deals, these amazing Vodafone offers, just dial *530# and get onto any of the Vodafone Made For Me bundles for as little as $1 Ghana cedi. Vodafone Made For Me has got just what you need. This offer is specially made for you. Simply dial *530# or visit my Vodafone app to subscribe. Vodafone, Further Together. Stay with us right here on the Super Morning Show. We'll be back after these messages from our partners.
Breaking news. Vodafone Ghana is becoming Telecel. Stay tuned.
I'm afraid. Media Sambisanda Moa. It's your Ratiano. Mumu Panet will fit Namu Podom Pemon Yakono. Eh, Quabna. No Mumu wants to be just Mali Marian in that day. And the crew. Cobra to Miri Nambo Pimusan so you super accident eba. I didn't have Bany de Braye. Who see it in a mobile? Some man are holding it. Sir, I need Nakujun you super accident Chaco. Nenoni dear, a mouse and we are credit fit of that. No, what you ask you, my mother feel you. Hey, Kojo, sir. Yeah. Pepsodent Heba and a Pepsodent Chaco. A failure. You're gonna natural.
FTIJ Trading Katuatu.
Across Africa, a new era has begun, connecting us with one purpose: to create and share opportunities to grow. Across our continent, across the world, we are creating a better way to a better future. A Pan-African future. Together. EcoBank. A better way. A better Africa.
Provident Insurance. Provident Insurance welcomes you to a new year. Remember to insure your new car or renew your existing motor insurance from the 1st of January to the 31st of March. You can win free gifts such as fuel coupons and several other branded Provident souvenirs. Rush for insurance cover now. Terms and conditions apply. Insurance, your future happy days.
With Provident, man, you are covered.
Hey, Cashman.
Yeah.
Don't you know Nana has assembled all of us and you are here making calls?
My generator is spoiled too. So I'm calling a renowned Ghanaian company with an excellent track record in the sales and repairs of generator sets in Accra to come and repair for me.
Oh, is it Anointed Electricals?
Yeah.
Anointed Electricals deals in quality and genuine generators with high fuel efficiency. We also rent generators.
They sell quality generators from 10 kVA to 2,500 kVA. They have spare parts of other generators and can repair every faulty generator set even if you didn't buy from them.
Look, now we don't have any electrical problem in Accra.
Oh, how?
Because Anointed Electricals is right here at East Legon, Lagos Avenue, opposite Tomric Hotel.
And that's why Nana is calling us. Okay.
Yes. If you want to buy a brand new generator or repair the old one, visit Anointed Electricals. Or if you are within Accra, call our hotline 0246 423 534
or call 0243 480 334. They have qualified and dedicated men on 24-hour after-sales service. Then let's go and listen to Nana. Let's go.
Hey, gosh, after giving you the hint, won't you give me anything?
Anointed, the generator experts.
Blessing, do you know of any good medical school I can take Kofi to?
Oh, Fifi, is that why you're looking all moody? Then I have some good news for you. The College of Medicine and Allied Sciences, ECOWAS, Accra, Ghana, is a degree-awarding institution, and they offer Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery using the Graduate Entry Medical Programs, Bachelor of Diagnostic Imaging, and BSc Health Information Management. All these programs are accredited by GTEC. Their bilingual curriculum prepares you to consult in French.
But I'm worried about admissions.
Admissions are ongoing. Contact us on Facebook or on Instagram at info.comas or call us on 0208 456 556 or send them an email info@comas.edu.gh. Comas, the citadel of a holistic professional medical education.
breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town. It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town. Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM. Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7
Check away, say move front, a son of back, and wine and madente. So jagella, so pressure, or the queen of retro queen, yeah. Came my yappy, but soon the chant and a man share. No. Shama can say, Name Moody and wash it. Shama Buddha, dear, Name Moody and more than it. Shama Fijaman does you, come in the more day. Budo ya. Nana mi na betchere mi ne wo ba guro kabre atra wias jamansan ya do ya Nana mi na betchere me ya wo campaign atra wias jamansan yina budo ya Nana mi na betchere eh ya antifa wo sabe wo meni odo mi wo anya hwe fa wo tuma be bo mi dia no ezo za wo kwodi fa wo sabe wo meni Mini would ya water back, yeah. Oda mi no ya chey ya water kind. Enti mi day and kasa. Mini would ya water back, yeah. Oda mi no ya chey ya water kind. Answerabe, watch a mona mi a bio mai. And I know what if na me ay. Ono na boya mama say myself. Answerabe, watch a mona mi a bio mai. I don't know what even I may. I don't know I ever myself. Why though? She must say my sense and a gas oil. The men who need now another way. And say food we told me that she be just. She want boom slow me men who difference. It's any me young pauses yeah. Happy day is so called that. She 1, 2, 3, aja, a dim. If I want some many, under me who I if I want to my baby, I know. It was a walk for the move your body now.
Enjoy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Like a belly dancer, shake your body for me. I'm gonna dance.
People loving the music. It's Tuesday. We're so glad you're able to join us from wherever you may be. If you're in the Asante region, thank you for choosing Love FM. If you're in the Central region, you've made the right choice with ATL FM. Keep listening to the Super Morning Show right here on Joy. Now, we promised you, after we had the conversation yesterday and we were admonished by the national organizer of the NPP that the vote buying problem requires a national conversation. So we're having that national conversation today, right here on the Super Morning Show. We brought together the voices that can lend the most important edge to this conversation, so we can actually figure out a way of stopping this horrible trend from destroying our democracy. So in our conversation today, you'll be hearing from Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante. He, of course, is with CDD, an organization that has been monitoring, these practices for a long time. They have lots of figures to help us understand the size of the problem. He joins us. Also, Professor Bafo Ajimandia is a former senior UN advisor on governance. He's the CEO of the John Kufuor Foundation, and he certainly has a thought or two on this issue. You will be hearing from the Honourable Member of Parliament for Achim North constituency, Asante Achim North constituency, Andy Apia Kubi. It is his voice, of course, which has become, if you like, synonymous with this conversation about vote buying and its effects. So you'll be hearing from him as well. But here in the studio, we have Mr. Suleiman Sanid. He's a member of parliament for Ahafo Ano North. But he made a deliberate decision not to run for office again this time around. And the reason he cites for that is the over-monetization of the process. We'll be learning more from his experiences as well. He's here with us in the studio. Mr. Sanid, what a pleasure. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Kojo. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for making the time. And thanks to all our guests. Good morning to you all. Now, if it's okay, we'll start with you, Dr. Pumpuni Asante. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Doc, please help us understand the size of the problem. First of all, how much does it even cost for one to run for parliamentary office?
Well, thank you, and good morning to your listeners. I thought you would ask Honorable Sanid that question first.
Oh, he will certainly share his experiences.
Maybe he will have the most recent figures. We
will ask him to share his experiences, but we know you did some work.
But you know, our studies that we did in 2021, 2022 now, some of the average was about 4 million Ghana cedis. I think at that time, in dollar terms, that was about $675,000. To contest for an MP. And then, of course, the presidential elections are ridiculous. But I mean, if you're looking at that kind of figure, you're asking yourself, where does anybody who's aspiring to contest for MP, where do they?
What, do we still have Dr. Asante? Hello, Doc. Can you hear us?
Going up since we started looking at this problem in 2018, when it was about $300,000, and I mean now it's doubled. So every election, it's almost doubling, and it's getting to really ridiculous levels. The impunity which is also attached to it is worrying, because it looks like people now openly demand and expect to be paid certain amounts of money before they will support the candidate. And then once that is happening, there's no way that anybody that gets into government would be there to do anything like solving the problems that the people, want to be solved. So this is what we are dealing with. I think Honorable Sunid is one person who, for consistently over the years, has been, raising these concerns privately and publicly, to some of us. So I'm glad that today he's in your studio.
Yeah. So, did your study uncover anything about the sources of this money? Where do these politicians find these amounts of money to come and run for office?
Well, from both legal and illegal sources, if I have to put it that way. Because one of the things that we are also finding is that there's a lot of money from galamsey and other kinds of illicit activities also going into elections. Illegal fishing, illegal timber, which are all going into elections, and that is even the scarier problem, because it will mean that at some point, these monies just circulate. They go around. They keep these illegal activities also alive, because they go back to election to politics for protection, and then we never get to solve it because there's just too many people that benefit from the whole activity.
Okay, we'll come back to you.
But to say most people are getting it from friends and family, from financiers. Now you have people who also think it's better to finance a candidate than go and put the money in any investment.
Yeah, we'll come back to you when we want to talk solutions as well. But the Honourable Member of Parliament for Ahafo North is here. We also have on the phone the Honourable Member of Parliament for Asante Achim North. So, Mr. Sanid, help us get the reality of this situation. How much did it cost you in 2020 to become a Member of Parliament?
2020, for the primaries, fortunately for me, I went unopposed. So I didn't have to contend with any issues. But even unopposed, you still have to thank the delegates. That is how we put it. You still have to thank them. You can't just say you've gone unopposed, so therefore you have nothing doing with them. You still have to see them and thank them.
So you thank them to the tune of how much?
Without putting figures, but at that time, if you look at it, it's something in the region of 250,000 kind of money that you have to give to them.
Ghana cedis.
Yeah. And that is even on the day of the conference. But if you want to look at the problem itself, it actually starts from the campaign stage, where you have to visit the delegates, have an engagement with them. And in fact, anytime you are meeting them, you can't just go to them and leave. You need to drop something. And dropping of something depends on the area and depends on the region. Some of the regions are, especially if you have a neighboring constituency where there's a resourceful person contesting, and the person begins to raise the bar in terms of how much the person is giving per sitting, then if you are close by and you are doing something less, it puts you in a very dangerous situation. And therefore, to stay competitive, you may have to revise your nose and then up your whatever you are giving to them. So so if you meet them 2-3 times, then it means every time that you meet them, something must happen.
Wow.
And depending on those who are in the contest, if you have people coming in with a lot of money, then it means that you have to also look for money to stay active. Else you'll just fizzle out in no time. So by the time you get to the D-Day, you wouldn't be a strong force. So, and then on the D-Day itself, that is where the main action is. That is where you need to do something to keep them with you. So it's a very big problem. It's not a joke. And beyond it, it's not just getting the contest over and then you are done with it. Even how to maintain the delegates, how to keep them with you. So for 4 years, you are required to take care of them. and you have all the examples that I know you've heard of the examples. People going to marry, they come to you. Virtually everything. So you need to take care of them because it's almost like your hands in their mouth. And you know they determine your fate come 4 years' time. So you try as much as possible to keep them to yourself. Along the line, some will be getting out of your hand because other aspirants will be finding ways of taking them away. But if you want to keep them, that means you need funds to sustain the delegates. And then beyond it, then the larger constituency, attending funerals, making sure that you are politically relevant. Else, they will see you as an MP who is not active.
What do you mean by politically relevant?
Politically relevant because if you are not supporting the constituency in terms of people, funerals, they invite you for funerals, you don't appear. They invite you for harvest, you don't appear. Islamic functions, you don't appear.
But what have funerals and harvests got to do with politics?
I'll give you a typical. If you look at my constituency, for instance, within Tepa Township alone, we have over 100 churches, and some of the big churches have their branches in other communities. So if you take something like a Catholic church, they have branches in about 5 or 6 communities. So if you have harvest for even the 100 churches alone, and you are to even attend your harvest and give even 1,000. Do the calculation. Then those branches within the communities, they'll also be throwing invitations at you. So how do you do this? And when I talk about being relevant politically, the moment you begin to shy away from these responsibilities, then you are endangering yourself. So whatever you do in parliament is your back case. That's the sad aspect of what we are doing. You see fantastic MPs, people ignore their contribution to the House, what they do to parliament, on national discourse, whatever. They don't even look at that. They look at how many projects are you bringing to the constituency? How many projects have you been able to lobby to bring to the constituency? But these are, to me, these are peripheral, matters of the MP. The MP's job is to actually contribute to lawmaking. And we need to do research. We need to read around so that whatever comes to the House, you can meaningfully contribute and then participate. But unfortunately, we've highlighted the project side in terms of development. The MP is doing this, the MP is doing this. There they highlight it. The MP is able to pay people school fees. He's paying. So the source of it, nobody even cares. So I think we need to really, really open up, especially those of us in the arena, open up and then talk about it and find solutions. So if I hear anybody saying that the political parties cannot do it, they can do something. There's something that they can do. Just like Andy Akobe was saying, the parties must sit down. They must look at the delegate system that we've been running for years. In fact, we've run this system since 1992. We've expanded it. NDC attempted expanding it, hoping that it would reduce it. It didn't change. It's only the amount of money that you have to give, you dissipate it among the numbers. But end of the day, it's the same thing. So if you expand it and say that even every a card-bearing member of the party should even participate, it's still the same issue. Either some groups will decide to put themselves together as the power blocks and come to you and tell you, we have these numbers. If you give us this, we'll give this number to you. So we'll not be making any headway, but we need to really, really look at the delegate system that we've been running. Right. We've done it for several years, so we need to interrogate it. We need to review how it's up us.
We'll talk about alternatives to that, but first I want to bring in Professor Bafo Ajiman. Prof, good morning to you. Thank you for making the time.
Good morning.
So I guess really we should try and identify the source of this problem. Who is really to blame here? Is it the greed of delegates? Is it the MPs who have led delegates to believe that they are in a position to provide this kind of money? Or is it the political parties for failing to regulate the process?
All the above that you have mentioned, could you? All the above. But it's important for us to recognize that this conversation we are having is not based on hearsay or rumor. Full admission, corruption in our process has been made by politicians, including our good friends who are in the studio with you. They are all confirming that has been going on throughout this public, and it gets worse as studies by DDD narrated our good Dr. also indicate. So this is a real issue. Look, even the sort of funding Kwajo created, there's a trend that we need to capture in this situation. A trend for appointees, young, new appointees to certain state institutions who once appointed their determination and parliamentarian, and therefore exploit their position to amass wealth to go in and defeat incumbents. It's a trend that happened for some time. Both political parties are guilty of that. If you look at those, those who won in a primary, you look at his own primary, when they were, you realize a significant number of individuals were able to capture power, so to speak, in this contest by simply utilizing from the state that way their cost of. So that's an point that we need. Secondly, what this makes is that people we are talking about are rational beings. Look, those who go into parliament, they are even me, highly educated, most of them, if not all. So they make rational decisions to enter the way, knowing too well that their accumulated income for the 4-year period that they will be in parliament will be less than the investment that they have to make in order to. So what is the rationale for people to get into this kind of contest? And that, for me, is one of the origins of corruption in our system. Most of them get corrupt. And as I listened to my good friend with video, he was narrating mostly corrupt practice. People, you have to meet their demand. Talking about being invited to harvest 100 checks. And if you give 1,000, 8,000 cities, that's 100,000 cities. And they know too well how much they make funds. So if you ask me, who are the causes? That's why I said all the above. Citizens, politicians, and the system they create, we have created ourselves. That is why I think people like Mr. Apia Kubie that are asking for reviewing the system, the delicate system that enables politicians to capture them, that also empowers the delegates to make demands on our politicians. So it cut on all sides. So, Kojo, this is a major, and frankly, if we as a people do not find a way to stop this, the trajectory of our democracy in this country, the prognosis is dire, dangerous.
Yeah, and that's the next thing that I'll come to you on. You know, what will happen if nothing changes? And we'll also hear from the Honourable Member of Parliament for Asante Achim North, and Apia Kubi, who has just been through this process and certainly laments the fact that it yields no returns. When we come back, we'll get into that and more. Stay with us.
There is something that drives you. The very thought of it fuels you. And even when the road gets rocky, you keep going, just to get the results that matter. It could be about you. It could be the lives you touch. It could be about someone special or something dear to your heart. Such results leave a sweet lingering smile, a sense of fulfillment. That's why you work till late, yet rise with the sun. Yes, your drive knows no limit. Do it with Stanbic Bank, where we spur you on to get the results that matter.
Attention aspiring minds and future leaders. Get ready for the University Challenge. 10 universities, 10 diverse topics, and a chance to win 1 million Ghana cedis. Each university presents a unique project, pushing the boundaries of creativity and knowledge. This televised competition celebrates intellect, teamwork, and the power to transform ideas into reality. The future of innovation and the chance to witness brilliant young minds showcasing their skills, teamwork, and ability to turn dreams into tangible solutions to solve real-world problems. Stay tuned for more details and get ready to be inspired. For more details, visit newafricafoundation.org or call 0532 383 737.
National Health Insurance.
Great news! The National Health Insurance Scheme (NHIS) has waived the waiting period for all members aged 70 years and above. All 70 years and above are also exempted from paying a premium. Enrollment and renewal are absolutely free on the NHIS. Members who are 70 years and above can automatically access healthcare when they newly register with the NHIS or renew their membership annually. You are no longer required to serve the 1-month waiting period for late renewals. Dad, mom, grandpa, and grandma, let your old age be filled with good health and access instant healthcare at zero cost on the NHIS today. Download the My NHIS mobile app to register with your Ghana card or visit the nearest NHIS office. Terms and conditions apply. For details, contact the NHIS call center on 054 444 6447 or 0302 746 447. NHIS, your access to quality healthcare. This message is brought to you by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID.
Are you hoping to start university this January? If you want a British degree from a world-class university at a fraction of the cost, then join Lancaster University Ghana right here in Accra. With a diverse student community, vibrant campus life, and up to 50% scholarship to support your study, Lancaster University Ghana provides you with a world-class education that creates endless possibilities globally. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Apply to join Lancaster University Ghana, where learners become leaders. Admissions are currently open for our January 2024 intake. Apply now for our foundation program. For more information, contact us on +233 030 221 8989 or send an email to admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Lancaster University Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa.
Hello, Linda. You won't believe what I am planning next. I want to start my postgraduate degree, buy a car, and build my dream home. But you know what's stopping me?
What's that, Mike?
Money, oh. That'll be my biggest wahala.
Oh, you are sorted, Kra. With a GCB Big Move personal loan promo, you can borrow up to a whopping 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours.
Like, seriously? How do I qualify?
Yes, it's available to all GCB salary account holders. Plus, you get a 2-month grace period before you start to pay back.
Susket, I'm opening an account with GCB now.
Get a personal loan of up to 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours. Call 0800 422 422 or visit your nearest GCB branch today to fund your next big move as we celebrate 70 years of greatness. T's and C's apply. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
Good morning. Wake up to the original magazine show. The Super Morning Show.
7 minutes to 9 on the Super Morning Show, and today we're having a national conversation about vote buying. We'll be hearing from you as well later on the show. But we've started off this conversation with Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante of CDD. We've also heard from Professor Bafo Ajimandia. He's a former senior UN advisor on governance and the CEO of the John Kufuor Foundation. Joining us over the phone is the Honourable Member of Parliament for Asante Achim North, constituency, Mr. Andy Apia-Kubi. And here in the studio, we have, and we're very honored to have him join us. I think it's my first time hosting him on the Super Morning Show. He is the Honorable Member of Parliament for Ahafo Ano North, Mr. Suleiman Sanid. And already we've learned such a lot from our guests. Before the break, we tried to identify the cause of all of this. We first of all assessed the cost of becoming an MP in Ghana, and we were shocked at the numbers that Dr. Asante shared with us. Then, of course, Suleiman Sanid made it all real by talking about how you even have to thank delegates when you go unopposed. Well, Prof. Bafwa Jimandria says there's enough blame to go around, and we're about to learn from Mr. Andy Apia-Kubi the experience that led to his decision to not go again if the political parties don't do something about the monetization of elections. We'll be hearing from him in just a moment, but first, every time we eat, food and sugars get trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases, foul breath. Now, brushing your teeth every morning and night with Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal Toothpaste is the solution. Pepsodent Charcoal is made of a fine blend of fluoride with a unique combination of natural charcoal, lemon, mint, and zinc, which will whiten your teeth, strengthen them, and remove bad odor from your mouth. Charcoal white gently polishes away tooth stains and naturally restores your bright smile. Now, for the herbal lovers, you can try Pepsodent Herbal Toothpaste, which is infused with a unique blend of green tea and herbal extracts, formulated to repair and protect your gums while giving an all-round cooling sensation. Pepsodent Herbal releases, repairs, and protects gum tissue while giving you strong teeth. So always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent has been saying this in Ghana for over 25 years. It's recommended by the Ghana Dental Association, and Pepsodent will give you the opportunity to call a dentist free when you dial 0800 161 000. It's a toll-free number. You can also get Pepsodent at any shop near you or call the customer care center. Another toll-free number, 0800 2000 30. Pepsodent, every smile matters.
Registrar of Companies has introduced premium services in response to clients' request for fast-track services. The Prestige Center offers a bouquet of services including registration of business names, companies, professional bodies, updating of businesses from the historical database, dubbed re-registration, filing of annual returns, and renewal of businesses with the delivery of certificates and profiles in 24 hours. Come and experience a premium class service. Visit the ORC office located at the Registrar General's Department, Accra. Call us on our hotline 0302 666 081 or 0302 664 79123. For further information, you can also WhatsApp or Telegram us on 055 765 3130. Join us on our social media handles at ORC Ghana. ORC, a trusted partner for business.
Now, Premium Motors Limited wants to make this February the most memorable one yet. So buy a Renault Koleos and let them whisk you away to the enchanting city of Dubai with your partner within the month of love. This exclusive offer is valid only for the month of February, so don't miss out on this opportunity to make this Valentine unforgettable. Go to Premium Motors Limited today. Test drive the Renault Koleos and make that decision, or just call 030-707-9977. You can also try 030-708-0010. Renault Koleos, where luxury meets intimacy. This vehicle is distributed by Premium Motors Limited. Terms and conditions apply.
Now, when we say insurance that gives you more, we mean more. Your car deserves the best, so get more for your protection with a motor insurance policy from APSA, underwritten by Holland Insurance. With a motor insurance policy from APSA, underwritten by Holland Insurance, you can choose from our comprehensive third-party or third-party fire and theft policies. To ensure that your vehicle stays protected, you also enjoy post-repair inspection, free delivery of your vehicle after repair, free roadside assistance in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, and Sunyani, and more when you sign up for our comprehensive cover. So go on and get more for your protection with a motor insurance policy from APSA, underwritten by Holland Insurance. Discover how to get things done at apsa.com.gh or the nearest APSA branch. Terms and conditions apply.
All right. Now, we're going to be hearing from Mr. Andy Appiah-Kubi, Honorable Member of Parliament for Asante Achim North, in just a moment. But I understand that we have very little time left with Professor Bafo Agyemang-Duah. So, Prof, I want to come to you very quickly for solutions. You've talked about the fact that there's enough blame to go around. But ultimately, people like Mr. Appiah-Kubi believe that the solution must come from political parties. They are the ones who have the power to remove this strange arbitrage into which all of this monetization fits today. What are your thoughts on that?
I do agree with because unfortunately, in the country, nothing changes without political action. But our political system seem to have entered almost every aspect of the hands of.
Prof, I must apologize. I think the quality of the line has deteriorated and we're only hearing every other word you say. So if you don't mind, we're going to try and reconnect with you so we can get a clearer line. Prof. Bafo Agyemang-Duah, we'll be reconnecting with you so that you can make that important point before you leave us. But in the meantime, while we're waiting to reconnect, let me bring in the Member of Parliament for Asante Achim North, Mr. Andy Appiah-Kubi. Thank you so much for your time with us. Good morning. Oh, right. It looks like we've lost Mr. Appiah-Kubi, but we will reconnect with him. Here in the studio, of course, we have Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante and Mr. Suleiman Sanid. So you talked about, Mr. Sanid, you talked about how even when you ran unopposed in 2020, it still cost you money. Is that why you decided not to go in 2024? Is it because you were not going to be unopposed and so it would end up costing you more?
Kojo, the reality is that after entering Parliament and then going through the motions for the 8 years, along the line, I somehow, for some reason, I was having issues. Virtually every turn, I have issues. Because some of the things that are thrown at me were not reasonable to me, as far as I'm concerned. And I thought that, look, staying in there and pushing these things means that I'm really also contributing to whatever we are constructing for ourselves. So I thought it like, look, where I've gotten to, let me cut it here, and then find ways of supporting some reforms, so that those who will be coming after us will be actually going to Parliament to perform their legislative roles very, very well, but not to have these side issues taking the attention and all that. Look, Kojo, the reality in Parliament is that we are. There are volumes of material that we are supposed to read, understand, and then talk to them. But unfortunately, we are not able to focus on these things. We are not able to sit in our offices and digest these things. We sit in there, and you look at the volume of demands that are coming on you, and you can't sit. When I entered Parliament, a senior member advised me, and initially I thought he was joking. He just said, "Hey, you want to sit here and be speaking English? Okay, you will see what will happen to you in your primaries. You sit here and speak English. You think it is English that will sustain you here." And it later on I realized that yes, it's actually the case. Because just like I said, what you do in Parliament, if you go out there, nobody cares about it. Because the parties do not have any mechanism for assessing the performance of MPs. We don't have any mechanism. The closest that we came to was this Dawuro 10. Is it Dawuro? There was this Odikro. Yeah. That was the closest that we came. It was only based on just attendance. Yeah. How can attendance be a good measure when it comes to performance? So I thought that yes, the parties must put in place a mechanism for assessing MPs' contribution in the House. When it comes to debate, when it comes to bills, when we are doing the consideration stage or the bills, MPs' contribution. When it comes to committees, what is their role in the committees? Are they really attending committee meetings and contributing? Are they visiting their constituencies? Are they visiting communities? Are they engaging their people, the stakeholders? How are they managing them? These are areas, metrics that we can use. And if the parties decide that, look, this MP per our mechanism has done so well, this is the threshold, he's passed this threshold, he's a first termer, he has a lot to offer. Such an MP, you don't have to open that MP to any contest. So once you decide at that level, you can decide that, look, at a certain level, we can have a close, what do you call it, restricted mechanism or delegates. It can be the party executives at the national and regional level to evaluate the person and say that, look, this person is okay, let's push the person again. Second term, third term, you can open up. But somebody comes to parliament only 2 years and then there's a contest on the person. How do you expect the person to reorganize himself after going through a very difficult general elections and then go into another contest within 2 years? So I looked at all these issues and I said, look, I think I can't carry the burden because I'm tired.
Right.
Because I was even virtually losing my family. I mean, you lose a lot because you have to go to the constituency constantly every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, especially when there's somebody at your backyard. Just plundering and just marauding and just clearing the place. You can't sit in Accra. So every weekend you have to go. My brothers in the north is even worse. Some of them, it takes them like, before they get to the north, 3,000, 4,000 on fuel alone. It's gone. So how do they sustain this? So I think that the issue has to do with the construction, the political system that we constructed for ourselves. We need to really, really look at it. Right. Change it quickly. Else, just like Andy Appiah could be said, now when we step back, those of us with second term, we are about 4 or 5 of us, we decided not to go again. Myself, Carlos Ahinkra, Dr. Mafu Forikrum, and then Francisca Otem-Mensah. Francisca is a fairly young lady, full of potentials, but she decided not to go again. Now what I'm seeing is that from what is coming out of this primaries that we had, we are going to have a situation where we'll be having 2-term, 3-term MPs. Because people are going to exercise this self-control and self-restraint and say, look, I've been in parliament 2 terms, 3 terms, I'm okay, let me move out. Because what is coming at us or what is being exposed now is a situation that is very scary. Right. I can tell it's very, very scary.
I think we've reconnected with Professor Bafwa Jimandia now. I think we have a much better line. Prof, thanks for your patience. You were saying, talking about the role that the political party has to play in solving this problem.
Yes. In fact, what the latest panel said is right on. He used the faction that it's also we need to form the electoral process. And it's that any such can be the leadership, those who are in power. So the challenge is whether those who inherit in this country are committed to reforming the
Prof, it seems the problem persists. It seems that we still have the poor signal. I don't know if it's possible to reposition yourself and then we'll try.
Let me move and see. Yeah. Is it helpful?
It sounds a bit better. Let's see. Let's hope it's okay. A bit better. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying that it's important for our political leadership, those who inherit leadership of the country, to be committed to reconstruct the political system. I think this is embedded in the general call for reviewing the Constitution. The Constitution is central in reforming the political system. So that's important. The second point I'll make here, Kojo, is what appears to be the Ghanaian inability to enforce laws, rules, and regulations. We have laws regulating almost all our lives, including corruption. We ask us, how do we enforce these laws? It seems like when it comes to punishing somebody for wrongdoing, we get it. And that's not at all. All right? And the third, I'm just making this brief point. The third point I want to raise is very important. Changing the mindset. And here we talk about the role of education. You see, education, good as it is worthless without value. That is, without values, education simply produces clever devils. Because those who are running, who get into politics, are educated, in fact, highly educated. And at times we wonder what their education has done for them, only because, especially in our case, we are educating people to take responsibility of our well-being without the needed value system. Talk about ethics. We don't have that. We simply produce people who come out very clever. And yet, these clever people are those who are damaging the country through corruption and other things. So for me, changing the mindset requires a radical pickup in the education that we give to our young people. And those of us who are already educated, we need to find a way to re-educate ourselves so that we can have a new mindset towards making our country the best that it to have. So these are the points I will before I go.
Yeah, we really appreciate your time with us, and those are some very important points, necessary for our pursuit of a solution. Professor Bafo Ajimandia, former senior UN advisor on governance and CEO of the John Kufuor Foundation. We thank you so much for your time with us this morning. Well, back to the studio where, of course, Dr. Asante and Mr. Sanid are still with us. Now, Doc, I want us to stick with this theme of the role of the political parties. It seems to me that there are two ways in which the parties contribute to this problem. The first is that they create a certain environment in which delegates feel that they are entitled to this, these monies being shared. We heard a clip of some delegates talking about how, they heard this one was sharing money and their name was not included. They are expecting these processes to be part of the election of their representatives. They are expecting it. And the party kind of reinforces that expectation. Listen to the Asante Regional Chairman of the NPP explaining why delegates are being given monies up to the tune of 5,000 to 10,000 Ghana cedis per head.
My brother, you as a journalist, we have to be in reality. Once I'm going, you look for lorry first. Is it not normal in Ghana? Or you look for lorry fare, then you say it. So once I'm going, I'll go free.
I want to look for lorry fare from you.
Yes, then I will do that and give everybody a lorry.
That's the regional chairman of the party. So really, are we surprised that the delegates won't even vote until they are bribed?
Well, I think it's first of all, you have to understand that we're talking about political competition. So it's like a market. If this person believes that, and even from the candidates themselves, if they believe that somebody is giving 5,000 to delegates, then they have to try to do something, because if they don't, then they are definitely likely to lose. And there's almost an expectation. It's a legitimate expectation that has been created, that is met after every delegate conference and so on and so forth. So we got it to a point where the last time they did this, that somebody else feel like, okay, I need to up my game in order to get an advantage, because money seems to be a key driver. There are other factors, of course. People also share money and they lose. But I think even some of the studies we did in 2018, that money is always an important factor. That, yes, a first-timer who has money has still a better chance than a second time as a person who's going for the second term, who has less money, right? So all those things begin to kind of reinforce a certain culture, political culture, that creates an expectation among the delegates. Now, I've always faulted leaders. Leaders are supposed to lead. If something is bad, and you know that it is not helping the organization, it's creating more problems for the organization, you shouldn't justify it and encourage it. And it looks like constantly you hear political leaders say, "Oh, it's but people have to eat, and people have to do this, and they've worked for the party for all this, and this is their payment." This is what is happening in the parties currently. Because of the monetization, even managers of the parties have no control over the party. People, it's basically those who are funding political parties that dominate decision making in the party. So there's always a lot of acrimony and conflict in the party. The party people are in the party, they believe that they don't have a real say. They can't really contribute because they don't have money. Once you create a party like that, at the end, the phenomenon that we are seeing all across Africa of choiceless democracies, that's what you get. We go to select a candidate. Everybody knows that this person is already been determined. So the whole exercise is just a procession. Once you create those kinds of vehicles, that party that produces a government is going to be a very weak government. Because it's always going to have challenges and conflicts and doesn't have legitimacy. And that is the debilitating effect of monetization. It starts with the parties, then it eats into our democracy. So all kinds of adventurers then start coming in because they see it as an easy way to access power. So we really need to put a break on it. Now, the parties have a responsibility, but I don't think this is a question for just parties. My sense is that once it's a competition, the standards for selecting a candidate should be the same across. That is the only way you kind of encourage people to comply with the law. If MPP sets its own processes, NDC sets its own processes, we are not going to go anywhere. In other places, standard. You can only use a campaign, with this amount of money. You can only do this amount, this and that. It makes it easier for anybody that is competing to have a certain confidence that, well, if that other person does it, they would have breached the law, and the penalties that apply would apply to him. But if I know that, if the other person cheats,
are you suggesting a cap to on how much you can spend?
Oh yeah, I mean in terms of first of all, you have to standardize the political processes for electing candidates. It cannot be just across the parties. It has to be by legislation. Yeah. You see, we have to understand that what the parties are doing, they are governments in waiting. So if the processes are corrupted, they are going to corrupt our government system. It is. If we don't solve that, there's no way we can solve corruption. The motivation for coming into government and recouping will be there. Yeah. And if it's pervasive, then you're going to have a hard time because it's the same political leaders that you're expecting to enforce the law. So you create a standard system where everybody knows that, okay, we are not doing a delegate system. It's an open system for everybody to vote for whatever it is. Whatever we decide, it has to be the same. Now, once you have done that, then it's really expenditure and revenue. Right? Who is funding who? What are their sources of income? The disclosures that has to come with the monies that go into party financing has to be very clear. Everybody has to disclose, because if you don't, then you cannot solve the problem of monetization, because somebody will go and find more money than the other person. So we have to know. Then you have to put expenditure cap.
Yeah, but Doc, talking about disclosures, we know political parties must submit their accounts to the Electoral Commission.
The parties.
Yes, the parties,
but,
they don't.
But the candidates
yes,
don't
I'm making a point. So the fear, even the political parties, they don't.
Yes.
How much more individual candidates disclosing? Political parties that are supposed to submit accounts are not doing
Yeah, but we have to. We are talking about where this, our democratic experiment is going. And where it's going, we don't, because we are talking about the complaints we have with Parliament. As Honorable is saying, nobody is going to Parliament and sitting there to do any work. Because somebody is going to come and ask you that they are getting married and that you have to pay for it.
So Doc,
you see, so the point is that if we do not, we have to make, we are talking about reforms.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying, that it's not about just the parties and what they want. If it's left to them, they will do whatever it is that they think is comfortable. But it's not enough for what they want. It's what benefits we are going to get as citizens who have put this political system in place.
So I guess the question is, how do we enforce a cap? If that's the way, how do you enforce it?
Yes. So for the last about 2 years, we put together a stakeholder group that has been developing a roadmap around this. And we have to be practical, Winston. So if you take something like funeral donations, right? We know that part of our culture, this is a very, very important feature of, our acknowledgement and respect of our communities and so on. You are not going to scrap it, but you are going to make that the most any candidate or politician can contribute to a funeral is this amount. Right? That is the most you can. So if it's 100 cedis, somebody decides that they go and give 30. Somebody decides what. But the most you can go and donate is whatever. So that nobody is stopping you from, as MPs, they will say, somebody's part, whatever, you have to go and pay your respects. You have to go and do something. It's part of our culture. People take it very seriously.
So what is to stop a candidate from giving 1,000 cedis just so that they are more popular than their opponents?
Yes, and this is, so in the US, and I was part of a committee that visited the Federal Commission on Elections, which oversees campaign financing. And they said, we can't catch everybody. We don't know all of the stuff that's happening all across the US. But when we get one person, the whole world has to know that this offense that you have committed, it is a very serious one, right? And make that person an example.
Like John Edwards?
Yeah. You see, because if we are all following the rules, because I say it's political competition, the advantage you get is if you cheat, right? So he that is competing with the other person is the policeman of the other person. If they found out that you gave more than the 100 and it's 150, the penalties should be there. You are either booted out of the process. You can't stand.
But Doc, can I come in? You see, the challenge, even if you put a cap, and then you have a situation where somebody has just about, say, on funeral donation, and this person has just about 10 funerals within a month.
Yeah.
And somebody has over 100.
Yeah.
How do you? It's the same issue that we are confronted with, the money.
No, but you see, but the point is that you would have gone, because now the rate is 500.
Yes.
You would have done 500 times 100.
Yes.
All right. If you begin to put the cap on and create a style, because it's the ordinary people, you are also trying to shape their mentality as to why a public officer should not be putting that kind of money, donating that kind of money, because where do you get that money from? Yeah. So it has to be something that's reasonable, that everybody can say, but the cap, there are so many ways, like adverts, like billboards. When we are doing elections, do people have to have all those billboards? I mean, to what effect do you get, in terms of putting all those billboards?
Look, let me even come into support what you. If you take something like internal contest, I've constantly spoke against that. That internal contest, you don't need billboard, you don't need posters, you don't need T-shirts. Within your own party, if people don't know you and you want to use billboards to advertise yourself, so the parties, I'm surprised that the parties have not been able to have a regulation on these things and say that when it comes to internal contest, no billboard, no T-shirt, no posters. Even if you want to do posters, you can do just some of the same dimension and find a simple place, say the party office, and paste those posters, just 2 or 3 there.
Mr. Before we wrap up, this is the last thing because I'm told our time is up. Mr. Sanid, you are not running for office again. So we are hoping you can tell us a secret. Please tell us, what exactly is it that you get from being in Parliament that makes it worth it for people to spend so much? I ask you, even though you were unopposed, you still had to pay 200 and something, which is more than I don't know. I mean, how many?
And actually, the money you pay when you're a sitting MP is even more.
Right. So I mean, you had to pay all that money, which I mean, if calculating your salary, that's almost a year's salary. What is it? What do you get from being in Parliament that makes it worth it for people to invest so much money?
You see, in terms of satisfaction, there are people who, in fact, I'll keep on saying that when it comes to financial, benefits, what normally happens is that our foreign trips, those give you some monies come in, some allowances come in, and then you put them together, and that is what actually sustains us. But you see, because of the constant, demand from from the constituents in general, you tend to dissipate these things. So in fact, within 2 years, 3 years, you realize that you don't have anything. So if you are not somebody who has business and to rely on your business, in fact, I'll give you an example. There was this gentleman with us. He came and he has a family business, and he was using the family business, proceeds from the family business to take care of his constituents. When he wanted to go second term, his family said, no, we won't allow you to go again. Because you've not brought in anything. You keep on taking from the family coffers and giving it out. He had a hard time convincing his family that at least I wanted to do 2 terms. Allow me to do 2 terms. Even though he ran at a loss, he was making losses. If you were to put it in business terms. But eventually, they allowed him to do only 1 term. So he's also hesitating with us. So you see,
after 1 term,
no, he did 2 terms because we did 2 terms. So what I'm saying is that all of us, if we went in, our satisfaction, at least I've been able to serve my people for 2 terms. My name goes into the annals when it comes to politics, and I have no constituency, and I've been able to also do certain things that I wanted to do, getting water to virtually every community and all that. So that is the satisfaction.
Is it worth it? Is it worth the money you've spent?
In fact, it's worth it. It's worth it. And if you give me the chance, I'll do it again.
But
I wouldn't go more than 2 terms. I wouldn't go more than 2 terms. And you see, when Doc was giving the solutions, I think there's an area that we have to also be looking at. We need to have national MPs, like they have in Rwanda. Rwanda MPs are not assigned to any constituency. So you can't walk to any MP and say, I'm your constituent and therefore take care of me.
Then where's the representation?
Yes. So we have to go proportional representation. They are the political scientists. They can look at it. Because I think if we do not, we will only just be shifting the responsibility. We'll only solve the delegate system.
Right.
But the constituents will still be hitting at the MPs. And it's the same demands.
Right.
The same demands.
On that radical suggestion, I want to say a big thank you to our guests, Mr. Suleiman Sanid, who, of course, has represented the good people of Ahafo Ano North for 2 terms in Parliament of Ghana, and Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante, who, of course, has been part of the team at CDD that has been observing how these elections are being monetized. We thank you both for your time, and to all others who have contributed. We'll be reading a few of your messages later on the show. Stay tuned, there's more to come.
Good morning. Welcome to the original magazine show, the Super Morning Show.
Hey, What is this I'm hearing about some economic census?
Yes, the Ghana Statistical Service is conducting a nationwide census of all businesses called the Integrated Business Establishment Survey, popularly known as IBIS.
A census of businesses? What is that for?
Well, for businesses to grow, they will need data on all business activities for decision-making to enhance their profitability.
Hey, so does it mean my top bar is part of this exercise?
Of course it is. All businesses, whether for profit or non-profit, are included.
Okay, but won't my personal information be disclosed?
Not at all. Data collected will be kept confidential and used solely for statistical purposes, so your individual information is well protected.
Really? So when is it starting and how can I help?
This exercise will begin in January 2024. Help by giving the right information to the field staff who will be visiting your business.
Remember,
support GSS to provide you with the right data for your business growth and national development. 2024 IBES, data for prudent business decisions.
Mothers of Africa.
Mommy, my day in your one.
And what's the offer geisha semina subain? Gina hopinti na ko wenim. Mempaba, kosi se wonsa beka weni da so ade nyina.
Mame, me gina painting akomenim. Na machapa to say geisha semina.
Be strong and last.
Sankratwe FD ajiatu.
What's so tasty, creamy, crunchy, makes you happy when it's near. Munchy, munchy, oh munchy, shortcake biscuits.
Enjoy the unbeatable taste of Munchy Milk Shortcake biscuits, serving you original milky richness for 20 years. Munchy, a rich ankasa. This advert is FDA approved.
Daddy, bonjour, and how are you?
I'm great, my dear.
Did you know that Canada has 2 official languages, English and French?
Oh, really?
Oui. Daddy, did you know that more than half of all the lakes in the world are located in Canada?
I see.
Daddy, did you know that...
Wait. Why all this sudden interest in Canada?
Because Baby Cubs is giving a free trip to Canada to the winner of the inter-school reading competition, and I intend to win.
Interesting.
If you are between the ages of 6 and 14, you can join the Baby Cubs inter-school reading quiz to stand a chance of winning the grand prize of a free trip to Canada, cash, and other amazing prizes for yourself and your school. Visit pebbycubs.com/quiz to register. Registration is ongoing till the 31st of January 2024. This quiz is an official program of UNESCO Accra World Book Capital.
Hey, Abena, did you know that in Canada, I can't go.
Introducing Pick 4 from Game Park Games, the easiest lottery to play and win. Pick 4 numbers from 0 to 9 up to 3 times a day to become one of our daily winners. More moolah, more power. Play online at www.gameparkgames.com or dial *946# to play. Game Park Games is regulated by the National Lottery Authority, not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. Pick 4 from Game Park Games. More moolah, more power.
Dive into a new era of news consumption with myjoyonline.com, your go-to destination for cutting-edge journalism, giving you the most credible stories from business to politics and from sports to entertainment. Myjoyonline.com introduces an upgraded news website meticulously designed to empower you with an enriched browsing experience like never before. Intuitive navigation. Navigate through an array of revamped categories that cater to all interests. Join the conversation with our interactive comments section. Get live TV,
confidence of the football
radio,
community. Can actually borrow.
and podcast of your favorite TV and radio shows on Joy and Adom platforms. Powerful search. Find any story with ease with a simple click. Access precisely what you're looking for. Experience the future of news browsing with myjoyonline.com.
You know somebody no be problem.
And thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And our friends from the HR Certification Center have joined us to be telling us more about their 38th cohort starting in March. But first, Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, your number one supplier of quality office essentials, equipment, and furniture at affordable prices. Now they've introduced an online store for your shopping convenience, which means you can now shop by simply logging on to kingdomstoreonline.com without physically coming to any of their branches. It is hassle-free, and they will arrange delivery to your home and office within a reasonable time. They offer free delivery within Accra and Tema and accept payment via Momo across all networks. Terms and conditions apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks. So the Ghana Statistical Service, now they've begun a data collection for the 2024 Ghana Integrated Business Establishment Survey Phase 1. Now, all business units found in Ghana would be enumerated, and the goal of the IBES Phase 1 is to compile a detailed list of businesses capturing essential firm characteristics that contributes to the development of a robust statistical business register and other key statistical indicators to enhance national development. All business entities that actively conduct business activities as a part of Ghana's economy, irrespective of size, status, be it for profit or not for profit, large or small, in towns or villages, at physical locations or online at markets, shops, offices or within residential facilities, and all other locations qualified to be enumerated. The general public is being urged to cooperate with IBES officials to ensure active participation and successful implementation of this important national exercise. Okay, so let's talk about the HR Certification Center. This morning we're joined by Kwabna Nyameche Dapa, who is Marketing Manager, and Pearl Amoa Amponsa is Executive Director. Good morning, Pearl. Good morning, Kwabna. And thank you very much for joining us.
Right, Winston, good morning, and good morning to your listeners. And it's a happy new year, right?
This is the first time we're meeting this year. Yes. I think we could say Happy New Year to one another. Happy New Year to you, Kwabna, and Happy New Year to you, Pearl.
Yeah, same to you, sir.
So, let's start from this point of view. Let's get an appreciation of everything. We know of many people who talk about HR, but it's important to also appreciate its importance to every business. Why, first of all, is the HR function important to businesses?
Right, Winston, let me say that this morning we're here to speak to corporate Ghana, and we're here to speak to the HR community. Now, the importance of HR cannot be eliminated when we are talking about businesses. I must say that the importance of HR is the same as how important water is to life. And we cannot live without water. Same way, businesses and organizations cannot live without the HR function. Now, we're not just talking about the HR department, but we are talking about the HR function. Now, Winston, let's look at from the point where an organization decides to set out. You're either setting up to either run a service or to provide or to sell product. All right, from the point where you decide who comes into your organization to the point where you also decide how that employee will serve your customers, to the point where you get that employee trained to understand your business and to be able to deliver value for your stakeholders, and also to be able to deliver on the brand promise to your customers. All of those functions we call the HR function, all right? You may not necessarily have an HR department, but once you have a manager, once you have a supervisor who is responsible for people, you are performing the HR function. Okay. All right. So in our line of business, we've heard people talk about the fact that, okay, organizations do not have, an HR department, and so we don't see the relevance of the HR function. And I must say that is erroneous. All right. Once you have a supervisor who is supervising the work of others, who is making sure that the employee gets to the office at 8 a.m. and leaves at 8 p.m. or leaves at 5 p.m., and then the employee gets back into the business the next day. Now, every morning, you are wondering whether your people will come. And when they leave in the evening, you are wondering whether they will return back to work. Your ability to engage the employee, to have that motivation beyond the salary you pay, is what we call the employee experience. Okay. All of that is the reason why we say that the HR function is very relevant and is important to the survival of any business.
Great. So I mean, I know that a lot of people go to universities and get their certification. And that's the end of the world for many people, really. What's this whole thing about professional certification?
Okay, so just like any other professional certification, we're not just talking about the HR certification, but we're also talking about certifications such as we have the marketers, that's chartered marketers or the certified marketers. We also have chartered accountants and, any other profession. Now we have certified surveyors, we have chartered logistics and all of that. So same way for people who are in the HR practice would also want certification. Now let's look at why somebody will go for a first degree, possibly in HR, would have a second degree in HR and still would want certification. Now we're talking about moving away from the theoretical practices that we are taught in the classroom to having hands-on experience that will help you to deliver. And so if you are not trained, if you do not have the skill, you can easily plunge your organization into avoidable liabilities and land them at the National Labour Commission. Okay. And so once you go through the rigor, we build that skill for you. We give you the competence to be able to handle international assignment as well as the local assignment. And so we are talking totally away from the theory to the practical, how HR must be done. Now, over the period, people practice HR and it's become the norm, and they feel that that is the right way to practice HR. Now, there's a standard to how you practice HR. You cannot practice HR without understanding the employment laws of Ghana. And so through your study with us at the HR Certification Center, we build all of these skills so you are able to handle HR properly. Okay. Now, let me also say that, HR must be positioned as a strategic business partner. And over the period, that is the advocacy we've been leading. Don't just, bring people in and then every now and then, they have to come in at 8 a.m., sign in, log off, and at the end of the month, you divide their salary and pay them. But you must be positioned as an HR to be able to deliver value. Wherever your organization is going, wherever the corporate or the vision of the organization is, you must be positioned to align the people behind that corporate strategy. Is the reason we are preaching that every HR practitioner must have a certification.
Great. So talking about the certification, what are the different certifications and requirements coming on?
Okay, so we have 3 certifications. We have the Senior Professional in Human Resources International, we have the Professional in Human Resources International, and we have the Associate Professional in Human Resources International. All these certifications are standalone certification. They have their respective requirements. So for the Senior Professional, you would need a bachelor's degree in any field with some 4 years working experience in a managerial or supervisory role. Or you would need a master's degree with 2 years working experience in a managerial or supervisory role. Then for the Professional in Human Resources International, you would need a bachelor's degree in any field with between 2 to 3 years working experience. Then for the Associate Professional in Human Resources, you would need, you actually don't need a bachelor's degree or any work experience. So for those who are in university, they can apply for it. And even those who have completed senior high school, have been working for some time and do not have any certification or any degree, they can also apply for the Associate Professional in Human Resources International. And Winston, I must say that for the past 13 or 14 years, we've trained over 4,500 practitioners, both HR practitioners and business leaders, because we get people who are not even necessarily HR people come through our system. Because the last time we went for an activation program, and I had someone approach me, and she said that she's been managing a school for so long, and she's been having issues with managing the people. So she wants to gain relevant knowledge to do this, and this is a program that gives people the relevant knowledge. Irrespective of your background, whether you are HR or not, you can apply. And over the years, we've had people from reputable companies such as Best, which was formerly BOSS, that's Bulk Energy Storage and Transportation Company Limited. We've had people from Ghana Gas. We've had people from Tallow Oil. We've had people from APSA. We've had people from Marriott and a host of other international and local firms over the past 13 years.
I see. So what's the course structure like? I know I see people sending messages already. They may want to know how they can enroll. But before they get to enroll, what's the course structure like, Pearl?
All right, so we run the HR certification program for a 6-month period. Within this 6 months, we take you through 6 modules as well as practical knowledge-based workshops. Now, the 6 modules you will go through as strategic HR management, HR planning and employment. You go through learning and development. You also go through compensation and benefits. You go through the labor and employee relations. And then the last of it is the labor laws of Ghana and ILO regulations. Like I mentioned, you cannot do without the labor laws. It's like your second Bible if you're a practitioner. Now, away from these 6 modules, we take you through series of workshops. All right, what we call SNIT in Ghana, that's Social Security and pensions. We need the practitioner to understand how the SNIT or the pension system works in Ghana, and so we take you through that as well. We also take you through a workshop such as ethics and integrity management. Now, we've had issues where you get somebody into your company, the person presents you with a certificate from a reputable university. The person presents you with all the reports that you need to know or you need to have. Then along the line, you notice that the person is misbehaving. It's either the person is speaking things from the office, the person is not telling the truth, the person is mishandling customers, and then as the HR manager, you are left to wonder how you can handle this person. So the workshops on ethics and integrity management will equip you to do some of these things. Now, every quarter, the HR certification program runs. So we run 4 times in the year. And so in every quarter, we have a cohort running. We are currently admitting for our 38 cohort, and it's starting on the 9th of March. 9th of March is a Saturday. And so our system is such that we take our customers into perspective. That's our students into perspective, and we understand that they are busy professionals, and so we do not only run a straight-jacketed weekend program for them, but we have the Saturday in person where you come to the National Banking College to have your lectures, or you choose to do the online option, which is virtual via Zoom, and then you can alternate. So the beautiful thing is that you don't have to stick to the Saturday all the time or stick to the Sunday all the time. Any weekend at all that you feel you cannot make the Saturday, you can decide to do the Sunday. So we have that flexibility of alternating. Now, our tuition fee is also that flexible, The average Ghanaian earns a monthly salary, and so we have all of that into consideration. And so our tuition fee is such that you can pay on monthly basis. You spread it across a 6-month period. So like I mentioned, our 38th batch is taking off on the 9th of March. It's a Saturday, and then we have the Sunday class that will be taking off on the 10th of March. But on Saturday, we would be having an info session to talk about the professional HR certification. It's a free program. All you need to do is to send us a WhatsApp, a simple WhatsApp, a hi, on 0244-122-855.
Take that again.
0244-122-855. Just send us a hi that you need to know about our info session, and then we'll share the link with you to join on Saturday. It's totally free, and then we tell you more about the professional HR certification and then the other programs that we run at the HR Certification Center. So this is how we run our system at the HR.
Can they call that number too?
Yes, they can. It's both WhatsApp and call 0244-122-855.
Great, and that's how you enroll. I mean, so how do you enroll, Kwabena?
I think Pearl has explained it. So to enroll, you just have to call the number on WhatsApp, 0244-122-855. And I must say that we also engage our audience through free webinars on our social media platforms. So you can follow us on our various social media platforms. We are on LinkedIn, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we are also on TikTok. And the name is HR Certification Center. And the center is CENTRE on all social media platforms.
All right, folks, you know what to do. Thank you very much, Pearl Amwa Amponsan, who is Executive Director, and Kwabena Nyamecha Dapa, Marketing Manager of HR Certification Center. Thank you very much for joining us. You know what to do. Just call them on 0244-122-855. Stay with us. We'll be right back after these.
Attention aspiring minds and future leaders. Get ready for the University Challenge. 10 universities, 10 diverse topics, and a chance to win 1 million Ghana cedis. Each university presents a unique project, pushing the boundaries of creativity and knowledge. This televised competition celebrates intellect, teamwork, and the power to transform ideas into reality. The future of innovation and the chance to witness brilliant young minds showcasing their skills, teamwork, and ability to turn dreams into tangible solutions to solve real-world problems. Stay tuned for more details and get ready to be inspired. For more details, visit newafricafoundation.org or call 0532-383-737.
GoTV is stepping up your entertainment from the 15th of January at no extra cost to you. If you are on GoTV Value, upgrade to GoTV Plus to watch GoTV Max. Already on GoTV Plus? Upgrade to GoTV Max to enjoy GoTV Super. And if you are on GoTV Max, upgrade to GoTV Super to enjoy the best of the best on GoTV Super Plus. Don't wait. Step up your entertainment today. It's on us. GoTV. Love it. T's and C's apply.
Introducing Pick 4 from Game Park Games, the easiest lottery to play and win. Pick 4 numbers from 0 to 9 up to 3 times a day to become one of our daily winners. More moolah, more power. Play online at www.gameparkgames.com or dial *946# to play. Game Park Games is regulated by the National Lottery Authority, not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. Pick 4 from Game Park Games. More moolah, more power.
Hello. We've all been there doing something dangerous to our teeth and suffering the consequences. Now, in that moment, you wish you hadn't, right? It's another episode of Time with the Dentist. I'm your dentist, Dr. Gwendolyn Amakwe Baiche, and this program is sponsored by Pepsodent in partnership with Ghana Dental Association. Today, let's talk about a few of the things that we do to our teeth and subject our mouth to that are harmful. Some of these habits have been with us for so long that they have become a part of us. But there's no habit that you cannot break if you put your mind to it. The first is smoking. Smoking cigarette. Many of you, I'm sure, are aware of the harmful effect smoking cigarettes can have on the general health. But what you also need to know is that smoking is one of the most destructive habits for your oral health. It is one of the major causes of bad breath and teeth discoloration due to the tar and nicotine present in it, and also the increased buildup of tartar and plaque that it causes. Other effects on your oral health include gum disease, which progresses faster in smokers compared to non-smokers. And we all know by now that gum disease can lead to tooth loss. Nicotine in cigarettes reduces the flow of blood to tissues of the mouth, and good blood flow is needed for healing following surgical procedures, like when you have your tooth taken out. So in effect, smoking can delay healing in the mouth. There can also be loss of density of the jawbone, inflammation of the salivary glands, which will lead to decrease in salivation. And very soon we will learn the importance of saliva to our oral health. Lastly, smokers are more at risk of developing oral cancer. To those of us who smoke, it certainly can't be an easy habit to quit. But with the necessary help, you can. Don't wait until it's too late. The second poor habit is the use of our teeth as tools. Whether opening bottles with our teeth, ripping packages, cutting fabrics, or holding objects with our teeth, you are putting yourself at risk of cracking, chipping your teeth, or even injuring your gums. Especially to our tailors and dressmakers, fisher folks, carpenters, who tend to use the teeth as tools at work. Let's do well to put a stop to the habit. Our dear mechanics who use their mouth to siphon fuel from car tanks using rubber tube. You're exposing your mouth, including your teeth, to very toxic substance, which can erode the tooth surface. Accidentally swallowing or aspirating this substance can also be very harmful to other parts of your body. The last poor habit I would like to talk about is brushing your teeth too hard, and especially with a hard bristled toothbrush. While we encourage you to brush your teeth often, please use a soft to medium bristled toothbrush, like the Pepsodent toothbrushes. These are gentle on your teeth and gums and are also able to clean hard to reach areas of the mouth. Let's stop brushing aggressively. This list is not exhaustive. There are others, like crushing ice with the teeth, biting your nails, and grinding the teeth. Tooth discoloration is when the perceived color of the tooth looks deviated from normal. And what is normal? So the teeth typically are very white in very young children, off-white in adults, and whitish yellow as you age. When you use your teeth as openers, you can crack or chip your tooth. This can affect your smile. Your teeth will look unaesthetic, it could feel sensitive, and depending on how bad the chip is, you could even feel pain and eventually lose your tooth. Bad habits are not easy to break, but can be broken. Let's put in every effort to stop these poor oral habits. Remember to always brush your teeth twice daily with a fluoride toothpaste like Pepsodent. And visit the dentist regularly. Your teeth will thank you. This campaign is proudly brought to you by Pepsodent in partnership with Ghana Dental Association.
All right, you're welcome back. It's the Super Morning Show. And listen, don't forget that your text messages, which we know, all of which we've seen, are brought to you by GCB Bank PLC, GCB Personal Loan. Make that big move and dream a reality.
Now, with GCB's Big Move Personal Loan promo, you can access up to a whopping 400,000 Ghana cedis at a reduced interest rate with a 2-month repayment grace period to meet your urgent financial obligations with a smile. So it's time to make that big move, be it educational fee payment, buying a car, or building your dream home. GCB makes these dreams a reality and life easier for its customers. So let GCB lend you the needed support to make that big move to take care of those urgent needs. Call 0800 422 422 for further inquiries. Terms and conditions apply. GCB, your bank for life.
Now, while we're talking about GCB, they want you to remember that they will never send you a message or make a call to you requesting your account or card details. It will never happen. So if you're ever in doubt, call 0800 422 422 or WhatsApp 0202 422 422 or just go to the nearest GCB branch. GCB, your bank for life.
And experience the excellence and global recognition of a British education combined with the convenience and affordability at Lancaster University, Ghana. Expand your horizon and elevate your career prospects with a British degree delivered right to your doorstep. Admissions are currently open for the 2024 intake. So call them on 0302 218989 or 0209 607008 or visit their website lancaster.edu.gh or send an email admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Lancaster University, the only British university campus in West Africa.
Now, there are days when you are low on everything, but that's why MTN Extra Time is there. That's an airtime and data advance service that allows you to make calls or browse the internet even when you have low balance. All you do is you dial star 506 hash, that's star 506 hash, and then you follow the prompts and you can get whatever amount of airtime or data you need. It's that simple. You can now do your favorite things on MTN even when you are low on airtime or data. Please remember, all terms and conditions apply.
So what if I told you that you could get 10 Ghana cedis, that 10 Ghana cedis can actually get you free concert tickets and shopping vouchers worth up to 500 Ghana cedis to shop at Malcolm or get some buckets of juicy chicken at KFC every week? Here's what to do. Stake 10 Ghana cedis or more in the Game Park Games Pick 1 or Pick 4 lottery to be entered into a weekly Saturday raffle for a chance to win. Well, irrespective of the outcome of your stake, you can still win a voucher for yourself. Vouchers are limited, so play more to increase your chances. And remember to watch the Saturday promo draw on Adam TV at 6 p.m. Dial star 946 hash or visit GameParkGames.com to play now. Terms and conditions apply. Game Park Games, more mola, more power.
All right. Listen, it's been great spending this time with you. A few of your text messages, if we can read them before we go.
This one says they introduce money into, that's from Ken Abaka, they introduce money into our body politics now. Why? They should deal with it. Simplicity. And at S_someone says those who can do something about it are the ones selling and buying. At Ashura GA says, how do we end something that is in denial? The actors of it, politicians, deny that it exists. We still have a long way to go as a country.
All right, thank you all for your texts and tweets.
Kojo, let's say big thank you to Big Joe Organic Wache.
Oh.
Yes, they sent Wache because this morning Pius Baka was, blaming me for not giving him Wache. So Big Joe says, Pius, it's enough. Don't talk again. That's the Wache for you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Big Joe. Organic Wache. We'll tell you how it tastes tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes.
Thank you so much for listening. My name is Kojo Yankson. I'm the morning man.
My name is Winston. I'm on.
Have a good one.